Welcome into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We're here for another edition of our Esports Tower Rumble, where some of the all-star talented teams of the Esports Tower take on some of the best high school teams in the nation in Rocket League every week. They battle in a standalone bracket. I'm your host, Michael Fisher, and helping me to call all of the action is Artie Nerdy Bird Rain. And Nerdy, let's start with, I think, the most obvious question. Who, if anyone, can take down St. John's Bosco, who has now won 3 out of 3 appearances in the Rumble, and they're going for their 4th tonight?
Well, if I were to hedge my bets at all, not trying to make any predictions, of course, I would say either the Swerve Barracudas or Forsyth are definitely the teams that are gunning for the title of another championship and are looking to take down St. John's Bosco.
St. John's Bosco has been incredible. They have lost only 1 game all time in the Rumble, and it was to Forsyth, one of those teams you mentioned in our group stage last week, but St. John's Bosco rallied back and ended up taking down Forsyth in the championship. But I'm really excited to see we're going to have some newcomers here tonight, both on the high school and some returning Esports Tower teams as well. This is setting up to be a ton of fun, but unfortunately, I think our storyline is going to be who can shut down St. John's Bosco, because you have to think, with a 4th Rumble victory, would have been their 4th victory in 5 weeks, they probably will claim the title as best high school team in the nation, right?
I can't argue that one, unfortunately. So someone has to take them down.
Yeah, well, we will see if anyone can give St. John's Bosco a run for their money tonight. If you are just joining us, here is how the Esports Tower Rumble works. Each week, some of the best high school teams in the country, maybe even the best high school team in the country, join the Esports Tower Elite teams in a standalone bracket. They will begin with group play. They'll round robin through the groups, and then the top teams will advance into our bracket stage. Here are our teams tonight. As I mentioned, we've got some returners: Forsyth Central, St. John's Bosco, and Grayson, all returning high school teams. We've got some new ones: Bishop Hendricken and LaSalle College. Actually, has a very unique connection to the Esports Tower that we will get into later tonight, and I'm really excited to see how those teams do. Meanwhile, on the Esports Tower side, we've got some favorites that we know and love: Barracudas, Swerve, and then we've also got some teams that we've seen intermittently through the past few weeks: Spiders, Mammoths, and Scorpions. So a lot of talented teams across the board here tonight, Nerdy.
I think this is the most out of the Esports Tower that we've been able to see thus far, and I'm really excited to see all of these teams tonight.
We see how our group shape up. Once again, Group A is going to be a ton of fun with St. John's Bosco and Forsyth. Hopefully our newcomer can just stay alive in that one. The Barracudas in Group B with the Swerve, also going to be a very, very interesting group with LaSalle. And then we see Group C: Spiders, Mammoths, Scorpions, and Grayson. Definitely a ton of fun. Here's how the group shape out. Group play in the books. We'll take a look back, though, at some of the highlights, take a look at some of the matches as well, and set ourselves up for what should be an exciting bracket here tonight. And I'm really going to be keeping an eye on that Group B with the Barracuda and the Swerve. I think those teams, as you mentioned, 2 of the teams that maybe can give St. John's Bosco a run for their money in the same group. Might be harder for one of them to maybe advance out. We might actually see one of those teams not even make it.
I am actually really excited to see those new teams that we got snuck into those brackets because, you know, they are joining so late in the game. We have nothing on them. We have no information. So that means I got to keep a closer eye on them because it might change my predictions as to who might be able to take down St. John's, at least by the end of the group stage.
Well, let's kick off the group stage with what is shaping up to be a rivalry between some of the top high school teams in the country. It is St. John's Bosco. It is Forsyth Central. St. John's Bosco in the blue, Forsyth in the orange. Forsyth, they got that 1 win over St. John's Bosco in the group stage. They're looking to prove that it was not a fluke. St. John's Bosco, they want to have their 4th championship. It would be their 4th in 5 weeks. And St. John's Bosco has proven that they are probably undeniably the best high school team in the country. This is a great rivalry kind of built that you wouldn't see if we just said, oh, here's a state tournament, here's a state tournament. And things are all square right now, and I think these 2 teams are by far and away the best we've seen in the Rumble because they just are incredible on both sides.
The follow-up, the rotations, they're all super clean. Granted, of course, I'm not seeing demolitions come out, which are my favorite thing to see, but Fear Classic, of course, making those insane shots from midfield, something that we'll always have to expect coming out from both of these teams. I'm excited to see how this all shakes out.
Yeah, I was talking to some of the people who are in charge of the Rumble, and they said the thing that's really impressive them is that Forsyth feels like one of the few teams that can challenge St. John's Bosco's aerial play. But St. John's Bosco, as we saw in last week's championship, does a great job stopping Meow's demolition that is just they are absolutely known for. So I think that is the one thing that's going to be something we want to watch out for if Meow can get on that demolition spree, or if they can't, St. John's Bosco might be able to neutralize it. But those aerial plays, they're pretty even on for the most part, as we see here. This is a very close game. This is a team between some of the 2 best teams we have. It's 3-2 with 40 seconds left from our group stage.
Can't say anything about that, though, because 40 seconds, we've seen a record-breaking, like, 5 to 6 goals made in that amount of time by both of these teams. Oh, and there's a demolition, as I like to see, coming out, and a cross-map toss going all the way to the corner.
It does look like Meow has gone back to the tried and true KG2222, as opposed from the Meow variant they've had over the past few weeks. So I'll be curious how that name change maybe affects things here. As you could just see, I mean, now we're getting in just absolutely crazy. I think this is like 3 demolitions in the last 30 seconds here, and Forsyth's trying to maybe even this game up, but I would have to say, you know, you're not in the business of predictions. I would be shocked if we see anyone besides these two teams in the finals, because they just feel like they're some of the best teams. We see there St. John's Bosco got the win 2-0, but those two teams are just so close. They get to the final, best of 5, and anything can happen. Now we'll go see our first newcomer, Hendricken, take it on St. John's Bosco. Of course, we know everything about St. John's Bosco. Hendricken trying to shake things up with maybe a huge upset here, and we see they're tied with a minute left. They're already making a name for themselves. Most, I think, new teams would have crumbled facing one of the best teams that we've ever seen in the country.
The one thing that I can see that it is very strong with this new team, Hendricken, is their passing between each other is spot on. There's multiple times already where I've seen just players make connections to one another across the field, even just left and right to get past the members of St. John's, and I think that has to be the strategy beyond KG's notorious demolitions to help shut them down.
Yeah, and I do think something you pointed out is very interesting as we see that ball nearly go in is these teams are unscouted. I mean, maybe you've seen somebody on Twitch, maybe you play with these guys in solo queue. You don't know what Hendricken wants to do. For Forsyth, we've kind of got what we know about them. You know, Buddy wants to score, DJ TJ is going to try and help him out, and now KG222, formerly known as Meow, is going to go for the demo. So Hendricken has that kind of, who's the demo guy? Who's the main scorer? And for now, they're going to take St. John's Bosco, I think, into overtime here, which even if they don't win, is a huge statement for how talented this team is.
Their rotations were honestly so clean during even that lower seconds ticking down moment where we typically see that type of stuff start to fall apart. They're making great connections with each other right over here and making sure that they aren't crowding over the ball, which is something I love to see.
Well, they nearly actually had the game winner there. It looks like we've got Pickle. And we'll see if we can find any of the other names, but I mean, this is just what St. John's Bosco does so well. I mean, cross the map in 5 seconds. They get the game winner. But still, Hendricken proved that they are a very strong team, and now we'll take a look at our full-length match of Group A. They're going to take on Forsyth Central. Even if they don't win, if they give Forsyth Central a run for their money, I think Hendricken's just going to be, you know, kind of the victim of a very stacked group, but a team that going forward we might want to keep our eyes on here as we kick off this full-length game. DJ TJ is going to win that one. Pickle in the corner. Beats a member of Forsyth Central. They try the pass over to Rice. He wasn't quite able to find it, though. Still in that midfield, Zandu trying to get it clear, and so far, a nice early start here for Hendricken.
We do see we've got KG there in the corner trying to lob that ball high in the air. However, 2 members of Hendricken predicted that perfectly and are keeping up the pressure over here in this corner as KG is trying to play it into the air. They get a toss over to one of their teammates. However, it's still found and calculated perfectly by 2 members of Hendricken, and they've already reversed the side control back over to the blue.
All the way in that corner, you see KG trying to play it around a couple. Rice recenters it, and there's the first goal of the game. A great start. Looks like Zandu put that one in to give Hendricken an early 1-0 lead. And they win another kickoff there from Pickle. They're giving Forsyth Central all they can handle right now.
Well, they do have to make sure they don't get eliminated from this stage, and so it unfortunately does come down to it beating Forsyth, or it's going to be Hendricken here in this game. So Hendricken's keeping up the pressure right now very well. That elevation that just came out, they got a nice touch on the ball. Now we've got, I believe that's Pickle down here in the corner trying to corral the ball down.
They tried to pass it to Rice. DJ TJ was able to intercept it. Now tries to make a play himself. Pickle gets a huge clear. Forsyth's got to be careful. Everyone was pushing on that ball. Buddy now will retreat. There's the first demolition of the night from who else but KG222. And they are trying to keep up that streak they had. Oh, man! That was a great shot. I thought Pickle wasn't going to save that. It was a huge one from DJ TJ from midfield.
There's also some great follow-up happening right there as we do see Pickle managing to finally get that clear all the way over to blue. We've got DJ trying to battle it out for the ball in the corner. The elevation coming out right there from Buddy's going to manage to smack it down into the mid, but still from the side of Hendrick, they're not letting up on their push over here onto the blue goal. However, DJ's trying to get a lot of disruption by bumping around, looks like Pickle over there.
Ooh, barely gets that ball around. TJ, though, last man of defense. Now trying to set himself up. Not quite able to. Buddy's going to redirect it. Pickle makes a great save. KG there, barely able to get the ball away from Zandu, and that's going to allow TJ to hit it back over. Pickle bumps it right back. Pass over to Buddy. Hits it down in the corner. Looks like to himself. Doesn't have any boost, though. But he's not able to make a play, and Pickle's going to be able to clear this one away.
Got KG trying to battle it out for the ball. Unfortunately, it looks like it won't be enough. However, as Rice ultimately ends up getting that clear to the corner, we've got Buddy waiting down on the ground, trying to cycle back towards the goal. They managed to grab the ball, but it's going to be redirected once again towards the goal. Played off that back wall. Unfortunately for that player of Hendricken, they'll barely miss it and almost getting it in, but I think that was a kind of duo save right there between two members of Forsyth.
That was a huge save. They get the demolition as well, and TJ is able to pinch the ball off a member of Hendricken. There's another demolition. It's something that Forsyth does really well. When they're in command, you're going to see a bunch of demos coming out, especially if they can get out of this group stage. But right now, they're getting all they can handle. Zondu trying to carry it in. A second goal would be huge with just 2 minutes left, but KG's able to clear it away back towards midfield. Barely gets a tap on it, gets a demo as well. TJ's trying to set up Buddy. That pass just too weak, and Zandu's able to corral it down into the corner.
KG's managed to respawn in the goal and is now going after that ball. However, Rice has got a nice centering shot in on the goal, and it's going to roll right in with just a little over a minute and a half remaining. There's still plenty of time to even out the score, so no predictions yet.
Zondu's going to win that one. The kickoffs for Hendricken have been incredible. They have consistently won against Forsyth here. As that ball's going to get cleared down by TJ. KG just barely misses. Another miss there, but he can't quite follow it up. 3 great chances for Forsyth Central, but they aren't able to find a single goal, and now they've got to go on the defensive as KG's going to miss on that one, but should be able to get it on the rebound there and actually place it around a teammate, which allows Rice to take a shot.
There was some great wide rotations happening right there from Hendricken. After they realized the ball was shot way too far to the right, they actually rotated back, allowing Forsyth to get a little bit of pressure on it. However, they then ran right in to take the ball away. Now we've got Rice pushing up with the ball to the mid. However, it looks like Buddy's going to manage to knock it just wide of the goal.
Trying to turn this one around, but so far the ball's all been on the blue side here in the final minute. Pickle tries to 180 that ball in to give him the insurance goal, but it does get cleared away. KG trying to make a play on it. Looks like it gets intercepted near midfield. Pickle going to recenter over to Rice. His shot does go wide, though, and TJ is going to be able to push this one down towards midfield. KG pops it up in the air. What a play from KG. And that's going to keep them in the game. Actually, never mind. TJ will get credit for the goal, but KG made a great play. I think he even faking out the side of Hendricken.
Oh, that kickoff was almost in favor of the side of Forsyth. Unfortunately, just 2 members of Hendricken were already beating the other one to the ball, so it fell more in their favor. Rice gets a nice shot on the goal. I think that was right over DJ, and so that's going to bring us just under 30 seconds. 2 goals still possible to even this out.
Ooh, another great kickoff there for Zondu and Pickle. It is going to end up being 1, though. Chance here for Forsyth. As you said, there's still a small chance. They probably need to score in the next 5 seconds or so. Oh, TJ's shot going to go just wide of the net. Buddy in for the follow-up. Can't quite get it around a member of Hendricken. TJ going to try and tap it down. Hits off the crossbar. There's a chance. Depending on how this kickoff goes, there's a chance. We'll see here. These kickoffs have been all sided toward Hendricken. That's exactly what's going to happen. The ball will just touch the ground. Forsyth Central does end up winning that series, however, 2-1. But you take St. John's Bosco to overtime, you beat Forsyth Central in 1 game of a 3-game series. Hendricken's a team that if they come back for future Rumbles, depending on what group they get placed in, they're going to make a lot of noise.
Yeah, I'm excited to see, since now, because they get the opportunity to play against what we would consider kind of 2 of our hardest high school teams coming into this tournament, how much they'll be able to review, check out the play style of both these teams, and just come back next week and be ready to get, on the level of mental gameplay and just outplay either one of those two teams, possibly both. We cannot out-discount them. They fought valiantly throughout the course of those two games.
Yeah, the highlight we saw against St. John's Bosco, they had a chance to win it in overtime and just barely missed. But now we'll go to Group B, where two of our best Esports Towers teams are residing, the Barracuda and the Swerve, and that's who we will start off with. Barracuda trying to end what has been a month-long slump, get back to the bracket stage. The Swerve trying to make it back-to-back weeks in that bracket stage. As we see the Swerve in orange, the Barracudas in blue. Barracudas do have a new player. Looks like Fifth Killer, who was on one of our teams last week, been promoted to the Barracudas, so no more Yeezy and Quez combo. So we'll have to see how that plays out for the Barracudas.
Sometimes that extra player is just all you need to make the magic happen in these cases. They are keeping up a lot of pressure over here on the side of the Barracudas right now and denying those cross-map clears that the Barracuda side is notorious for.
Yeah, and we've seen that. They've got Joxon, and I think this is a team, and I thought Fifth Killer was maybe one of our best Esports Tower players last week, so I can't wait to see how he responds on the Barracudas. But I mean, we've talked about the Swerve. We've been talking them up ever since we've seen them. They're a very talented team.
Woo!
But when Yeezy's feeling himself, good luck. I don't know how you're going to stop that. I don't know how. Maybe just air dribbles it in with 7 seconds left. That's a great play to probably give the Barracudas the win here in a very, very tough battle.
We do have Yeezy looking like they're trying to even get that insurance goal, but it's going to be booped away by one of the members of the Swerve just a little bit high. Now it's just a matter of the ball touching the ground to end the round. I think it's going to, but these players are going to try and tell me otherwise.
Yeah, it looks like we are going to transition into our next game, which is the Swerve versus LaSalle. LaSalle College High, another one of our new teams. Swerve need a victory in this game to have a chance at the bracket stage. They dominated early and often in this one. And this is actually something I thought was interesting. The head coach, the head Rocket League coach, Coach Jake for the Esports Tower, is actually a graduate from LaSalle College High. So he's probably a little split here on who he wanted to win. The Swerve ended up pulling it out, but he's probably a little split on who he wanted to win that one, I would think.
I honestly, my heart goes out to you being a graduate from somewhere and having to root on your own team playing against them. It just happens like that sometimes. And, you know, you just got to be happy that, like, your own school is doing, you know, esports and are involved in this tournament. It's really awesome to know that that's someone that our director has, well, they know them, so to speak. And so, little love-hate relationship, little competitiveness happening there is never something bad. No,
that was a great. I would love to see LaSalle back. I think we're actually going to see him here for our highlight match. Should be the Barracudas versus LaSalle. It will be indeed. So we'll get a full 5 minutes here to see what LaSalle College High can do. But the Barracudas, if they win this, I believe are guaranteed a spot in the bracket. If they lose, it could come down to them in the Swerve. So I know they want to definitely set the tone early. But right now, LaSalle College gets all the pressure. Yeezy just barely missing a clear. Will get bumped away. And I'm really curious to see how the Barracudas with Fifth Killer, their new player, plays, because we've seen, you know, even with Boise State, when a new player gets added, there's some double commits. You can open up some holes. So I'll be curious how much practice they've gotten with their new player. And it looks like they're in midseason form with a great pass from Fifth Killer to Yeezy.
The spacing, at least initially right here, was fantastic coming out for the side of the Barracudas. There was no crowding happening. They had, you know, kind of that 1/3 split down the field. A demolition, unfortunately, is going to come out onto one of the members of the Barracudas as Jay is trying to pop this ball above one of the Barracudas. Unfortunately, the respawns have already come in, and the onslaught over onto the side of LaSalle has begun.
Yeah, Jock's going to play that one around Knowles. Looks like that's actually going to, I thought it was going to arc in. Great save there by Jay. Going to be recentered there, but they're going to miss that pass over to Jock. So Jay should be able to carry this one down. You see Yeezy retreating, tries to carry it in, but Jocks makes a great save.
I for sure thought that one was going to go in. We do have, Yeezy managing to play it over two members of the side of LaSalle College with the follow-up right there. I do think that was Fear Classic right then, managing to find that connecting shot into the goal.
I thought that was actually going to be saved as well. Somebody for LaSalle was almost in the perfect spot. Kickoff ends up right in Knowles' face. He's able to push it down, gets it around Yeezy as well, centered perfectly. But Jock's able to push that one away. Jay looking to elevate there, just can't quite get a touch on it. Yeezy now in the corner, got to play it around Knowles. Not going to come close, and that ball gets shot all the way down to the corner. Jock's going to pass it over to Fifth Killer. Fifth Killer's going to try and dribble this one up, but it gets stolen away. Great punish there from LaSalle.
Yeezy managed to elevate, though, to keep the control within favor of the side of Barracudas. However, playing off the wall right now, LaSalle's onto this shot on goal. Unfortunately, he's going to go a little bit wide to the left. Yeezy's going to get booped around a little bit, so they're not going to be able to find an easy touch on that ball. Looks like Jocks is looking to get this clearing shot right here, though.
Knowles with a great shot there, stealing it away. Still going to get corralled in the corner, but a ton of great pressure. A couple of misses, though. It's a one-on-one, but Jay makes another great save. He's been excellent defensively for LaSalle.
The ball's still staying over here. However, they didn't get a nice clear. It's now going to end up in front of Jay and Noel. Can they play it? They played it around 1. Can they play it around 2? They can, but it's going to hit that crossbar. Everybody's worst enemy. Yeezy's now going to try to play it off the wall past that midfield. Oh, no. Oh, that bicycle kick I thought was going to force that ball into the goal. Thankfully, it went a little bit wide, and now they're going to try and get that ball into the goal, and they find it. 2.5 minutes, plenty of time to even out that score. Look, I'm interested, though, to see how this kickoff goes, because it could result in an easy goal.
Ooh, Jay won that kickoff by a mile, but Jock's holding back is able to corral it. Now it's going to get carried up there. Does lose the dribble, and Noel's going to launch it down. Jock's, though, defending perfectly. Able to play it in the corner. Gets it away from Knowles a second time as well. Gets some help from Fifth Killer, who can't quite get a second touch on it. Demolition is going to come out onto Fifth Killer, but the ball is going to get cleared over so the Barracudas can breathe easy, and he's going to respawn in time.
Jay's rotating back along one of their teammates to try and corral this ball down. They're going to elevate and try to knock the ball. It got tipped just towards the goal by one of the members of the Barracudas, and the follow-up will find the goal.
Jock's just sneaking behind the defense, ends up putting that one in. 2-goal lead, though, but still plenty of time. Just over 2 minutes left here between these two teams. Yeezy takes a huge shot from midfield. Misses, going to corral up the wall. Jocks trying to play it off the rebound. Set it for a teammate. Fifth Killer's shot just wide. Bungus able to clear it back towards midfield. Noel, he gets a hit on it, but it's still right in front of that net. Yeezy charging in. Wants to wait to see where Wabungus is going to hit it. Now has a great chance if he can center it to a teammate. Wants to make the play himself, but Jay's going to be able to clear that one away. A miss there as well, and Jay's going to get it all the way down to that orange side. Trying to make a play, but loses his dribble.
Fifth Killer's putting the pressure on right here onto Jay, and they do manage to clear it, but the follow-up from one of the LaSalle College players manages to get it nice in front of the goal, but it's going to be knocked away anyway. Yeezy's now taking it up the midfield, manages to play it around one member of LaSalle, but unfortunately they will lose the ball there.
Looks like the Barracudas just going to back pass it here to their own side. This is Fifth Killer now trying to carry it up. Gets it around Jay. One man to beat, and it's going to get stolen away by Knowles. Perfect defense there. LaSalle has had some great defense. You turn that into scoring as they try and cherry pick a goal, but the shot goes wide.
Now that clearing shot might have been what they needed, and it is. You always got to be careful full committing on those goals. If everybody's up on the wrong side, no one's ready for that back post rotation, you leave your goal wide open.
That was a great follow-up as well. Jay's first shot missed. I thought that was a doomed effort, but a great follow-up from LaSalle. And they're playing the Barracudas tough here so far as Yeezy and Jocks try and combine, and that ball just barely pounces past Jay, and the little fake out there was enough to give him that insurance goal back.
I honestly thought that actually did hit the top of their car and might have been too much of a pop-up, but it was perfect.
Yeah, that was a great play. The Barracudas have some fantastic team play. As Fifth Killer tries to 1v3, nearly gets the shot on. Yeezy going to try and pop it up in the air, wants to try and set up for a teammate, and he does. The Barracudas, they saw that maybe they were in danger, and now they've absolutely popped off here in the last 10 seconds.
And I do believe that was a hat trick there for Fox, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I believe that was. We got a quick flash of the scoreboard, and I saw the hats fall. I trust our production saw it as well. So a great job there by Jocks getting the Barracudas. As I said, they win this. I believe they are in the bracket stage, and it was close for a while. Huge shout out to LaSalle for challenging the Barracudas, but eventually Barracudas proved to be too strong and should be able to break that slump. And they'll get another one in there as well, just for good measure.
After all, the Barracudas are trying to come out of a month-long slump here, so unfortunately, LaSalle, for you, that just means that you're kind of just in the way of them making it into the finals right now, and they have to completely up their game. You did kind of get into their mental a little bit there for a while.
Yeah, I mean, this game was tied with like a minute and a half left, so a huge shout-out to LaSalle. This final scoreline is not indicative of how this actual game went when you just look at the 7-2 scoreline. So LaSalle, definitely a team with a bright future, as that will touch the ground right as someone drove over a boost pad. And that should snap the month-long streak for the Barracudas, and now we'll see how our last group goes out here. A bunch of talented Esports Tower teams and Grayson as well. We'll start off with the Mammoths and Grayson. The Mammoths trying to keep up their success they had in last week's Rumble. They want to make it to back-to-back group stages, or to bracket stages. Meanwhile, Grayson, they're trying to make their first bracket stage in a couple of weeks. And right there, the Mammoths going to strike first with just over a minute left. We've seen a lot of defensive battles in our group play highlights.
For the side of the Mammoths, we mentioned last week that their defensive rotations have dramatically improved over the course that we've been able to see them, especially back-to-back weeks. And this week, their passing is also so much better than what we were seeing over the course of the previous Esports Tower tournaments. And I think that VOD review, that extra week, whatever they ate for breakfast might have been what they needed.
Yeah, Zydra, the new player who joined the Mammoths last week after moving up in a division inside the Esports Tower, has been huge. And also, Grayson, they're going to tie this up, and I've been told they have kind of a reputation of playing really strong in that early game and then just collapsing in the end of games. And that's a narrative they want to try and change here tonight, and at least tying this game up with 40 seconds left. They look to maybe have that figured out, but a goal here and a game winner would be huge in proving, you know what, we don't always struggle in the end game, as Sunky almost wins it there, but that shot turned away.
Sunky makes another shot, and it is going to find it because unfortunately the elevation was just not high enough for one of the members of the Mammoths. 25 seconds is more than enough time to even it out, though, as we go into this next kickoff. It's won by one of the Grayson players, and the elevation right there from one of the Mammoths is going to knock it to the corner. They've got 19 seconds to make something happen here.
Grayson could hold on. They might get that monkey off their back. You never want to be known as the team that chokes late in the game, and everybody say, oh, we're down a couple goals, we're against Grayson, we've got this, no problem. And looks like they're going to maybe bleed this one out here. Sunky with a great performance. And it looks like that was actually it. They end up winning the series 2-0. And Grayson, I mean, one performance won't just get that absolutely erased, but that's a great way to be down late, come back with 2 huge goals. Great way to turn it around there for Grayson.
Yeah, like we just gotta hope that they aren't mentally exhausted, because they've got another match, as we see right here, against the Scorpions starting out. The Scorpions are up 2 with just a little over a minute remaining, now up 3. However, if Grayson can pull what they did in the last match, they might be able to turn this around and even out the score and take us to overtime.
Yeah, the Scorpions, one of those teams that, like we've seen from several other Esports Tower teams, they've taken a couple weeks off. They've tried to improve for the Rumble event, but focusing on their team play. And all of those teams in the past that did that ended up making it into the bracket stage the week they came back. So maybe the Scorpions can join that long list of Esports Tower teams who have been able to refocus on a couple weeks off. Meanwhile, Grayson, if they win here, would force a tiebreaker versus the Spiders to decide who will represent Group C in the bracket stage, because there are 4 teams, and that's why there will be a tiebreaker. But right now, the Scorpions absolutely popping off with that 4-0 lead.
We go into this next kickoff. It's a nice shot right out the gate right there. That was beautiful.
That was impressive. It did look like Grayson ended up rallying to win the overall series. So maybe that game was right after the game we just saw. They were exhausted. Maybe had to take those 5 minutes, be like, all right, you know what? Let's just get back to where we needed to be. So Grayson ends up winning it. And as I mentioned, they're going to force a tiebreaker game here against the Spiders. The winner will get the last spot in the bracket stage. The loser, unfortunately, will have to wait till next week. We've seen the Spiders a couple of times. Looks like they even have Quez on their team now, so that is always a player that you want to watch out for. He is very, very talented in his own right, and currently the ball in front of the net, there's Quez. He's able to get a clear away, and now trying to make a play with it.
Unfortunately, I think that knock off the ceiling was a little bit of a miscalculation with a follow-up from one of their teammates. They're going to knock it back into the midfield. However, it's going to end up right in front of Sunky. Sunky's going to get booped around by Llama Guy a little bit, but however, they still managed to get the clear right there.
Looks like a member of the Spiders going to try and set it up. Barely gets it under a member of Grayson before the ball is turned away. Follow-up there, not able to land. As Quez takes a shot, Llama Guy is going to turn it away, and we turn into bumper cars here for a little bit. Finally, Sunky, who was the hero of Grayson earlier in this tournament, can't quite clear it away, ends up turning around. Now it looks to set up the Spiders. They do have to get a double commit from Grayson, but they managed to clear it away for a moment before Quez, now trying to air dribble it in, looking to play his own rebound, can't quite find it.
Llama Guy's trying to beat Quez out to the ball. With the help of Sunky, they managed to do just that. It's going to get knocked right into the corner. Quez is going to snag that boost, so boost starving is still something that's happening. Always good to see Doc's keys happening in these games. It's going to be bopped around right in front of the goal, and Sunky is going to find the connection for that first goal of the game.
Great job there by Sunky to take the early lead for Grayson. As I mentioned, tiebreaker game here. The winner of this game will make it into our last bracket stage spot. So a lot of pressure on both these teams as Llama Guy looks to clear it away, gets it over a member of the Spiders. Trying to beat him out one more time, but he can't quite do it. Now Sunky in possession with the ball right in front of the net. Not where you want to be if you're the Spiders. But Ricky's able to clear that one away. Follow-up shot from Llama Guy. Just going to go wide. Quez kind of bumped his own teammate out of the way a little bit there, but still able to manage to get some semblance of a clear.
And we get a nice centering shot. However, one of the Grayson players is going to manage to keep it on at the midfield right here. Sunky's getting booped around a lot by Quez. Quez is trying to take that shot. It's going to get bumped high into the air by Dash the Incredible and dropping right down, right back into the corner. The follow-up right there from Llama Guy, unfortunately, will not be enough to find the goal, but there's still hope as they're keeping this ball over here on the side of Grayson.
Ooh, Dash Incredibles does a great job clearing that one away. Looks like it will be picked up by Quez. Ooh, maybe trying to go for the double tap here. Oh, and he gets it.
That was
huge.
That was beautiful.
That was absolutely impressive from Quez, and we know how talented of a player he could be, as it looks like the Spiders will barely win that one. Looks like Ricky's now trying to set up Quez for another one, and just like that, Spiders have the lead.
I think they found their rhythm. The magic is honestly, you know, set up Quez to make those long shots. They're more than capable of doing it. Be that assisting pass over to them and make sure you have that back post covered, as we do see two members of the side of Grayson commit in that aerial ball. Neither one really getting a nice touch onto it. The ball ends up in front of Skunky. Sunky over there. Quez is putting the pressure on. The follow-up, unfortunately, would just be a little bit too wide of the ball. So it's going to be up to Llama Guy here to try and center this ball up.
Oh, Quez now retreating. Oh, perfect stop there. Sunky, though, is able to keep it alive, sets it up for a teammate. Me on switch, barely able to get a touch on that ball. Llama Guy going to pop it up in the air. Quez can't quite find a handle on it. Now he's able to corral it. Ricky in the corner. Can't quite get a touch on it either, though, and Grayson's going to be able to clear it around, trying to pinch it off the wall. Not quite able to find it, though. Dash Incredible pops it up in the air. Llama Guy and Sunky now both there with the ball, and a great challenge there by Ricky to stop that right at midfield.
We've got Quez taking the ball up the side, trying to play it past two members of the side of Grayson, and they managed to do that. The goal is almost wide open, but Llama Guy gets that clearing shot over to the corner, and now they're trying. It looks like Quez got a nice centering shot, but was booped around a little bit right there.
Llama Guy lands right on top of the ball. And it looks like that gets re-centered. Llama Guy able to clear it away. Still only a one-goal game. Anyone can really win this one, as Quez is able to steal it away. Sunky just going to hit it right back. Be on switch, though, able to pass it right over to Quez, who looks to set himself up for a nice goal, but ends up retreating. Dash Incredible centers in front of the own net. Never where you want to be. Chance here for Ricky. Oh, nice save there on the combo effort from Llama Guy and Sunky.
We do have Quez not giving up, though, here in the corner. However, the rotation has to come out. They have to go back towards their own side of the field. We've got Dash trying to hit the ball. Unfortunately, they didn't go high enough. It's going to get shot high over into the corner. Quez is going to get a nice clearing shot in front of the goal, but Sunky will be there just in time to clear it.
Quez trying to set up one more for his team to give them the insurance goal they need. Sunky, though, going to just dunk it right over me on switch, and just like that, with 53 seconds left, we've got ourselves a tie game. This is down to the wire in the play-in game and the tiebreaker game to see who makes the bracket. Quez trying to dribble it up, ends up having an open goal to himself, but Sunky makes a great save there to keep us at 2-2.
We've got Sunky also trying to chase that ball off that back wall right there. It's going to drop right in front of the blue goal. All three members are right there waiting for it, however, and it looks like Sunky might be able to get a touch on it. They do, but we do also see Quez right there managing to get just a nice tip onto it towards the center of the goal. It's kind of dying out over here as all three members of Grayson are fighting for this ball.
Yeah, you can see just 23 boost on the player we were spectating. Now Quez right in front of the goal. Dash Incredible is going to challenge him. One last chance here potentially for Grayson. Ball gets cleared away. Sunky can't quite get a hit on it with 5 seconds left. Grayson's probably going to have to go the length of the field. It looks like we might be headed to overtime.
And ball's just got to touch the ground. I don't believe we'll be able to see a goal before it drops. Sunky actually manages to get a nice touch on it. It's still staying alive with the help from Quez right here, playing it over multiple members of the side of Grayson, and it gets tipped away by Llama Guy. Ball still has not touched the ground. These people are not wanting to see overtime, but unfortunately, they're gonna.
Yeah, ball just dribbled in the mid for quite a while. We'll see if either team can strike early here in overtime. Quez not quite able to find it. Me on switch, hits off the crossbar. Ricky with one chance, not able to get to it. And a prime opportunity missed for the Spiders. Quez trying to keep the pressure on, though. Has to dribble it all the way in the other corner. Pinches it off the wall. Sunky's going to miss on it, though. Chance now for Ricky to redeem himself. Ends up hitting the ball over into the corner, and Llama Guy's able to clear it away.
They have to be careful for the side of the Spiders not to overcommit on these goal-scoring opportunities, though, because that is how Grayson managed to even out the score previously. We do have Sunky rotating back, trying to beat out multiple members of the Spiders to this ball right now. They're going to manage to take it up the side wall, but Quez is right in front of them, and Quez does get that nice clearing shot. Llama Guy's there for the follow-up. Unfortunately, it's just a little bit wide.
Great chance here for Quez. Going to try and center it up. Oh, just off the crossbar, but he finds his own rebound. Puts it in, and that is going to take us to our semifinal matches. For their third championship last week, St. John's Bosco, they advance as the first seed with a 3-0 record, followed by Forsyth Central, who has now made it to the bracket stage 9 straight weeks. Group B, we saw the Barracudas finally get over that month-long slog, and now we also saw in that tiebreaker game the Spiders able to pull off the victory, but the Spiders and Barracudas do not have their work cut out for them as they have to take on some of the best high school teams in the country, and I think the Barracudas could take down Forsyth Central. The Spiders, I got nothing for you. I love the Esports Tower teams, I really do, but I mean, St. John's Bosco just looks like legitimately on another level right now.
My only advice is to the Spiders is to set up as many opportunities as you can and be prepared for a lot of VOD review coming out from that game. And honestly, ground the ball.
Yep.
Do not let St. John's tee off of each other, hit the ball high, and then play it off the wall, which is what they love to do to get those like literal like waterfall shots into the goal. Just don't let them have those easy shots.
Yeah, you keep the ball out of the air, which is kind of hard in Rocket League. You have a chance against St. John's Bosco, but we will wait to see that one. Our first semifinal when we come back will be Forsyth Central and the Barracudas. One of these teams making the championship game. Forsyth Central, they've been a regular. Barracudas, they're trying to get back. Remember, they already have 2 championships. They could win tonight. They would equal St. John's Bosco for the most championships in the Esports Tower. We'll take a quick break. We'll find out who's going to be in the championship game. Forsyth Central, the Barracudas. Find out next.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them. I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives. And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Welcome into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. This week's Esports Tower Rumble is in the semifinal stages, and we are setting up to have ourselves a good one. Our first matchup here, Forsyth Central taking on the Barracudas of the Esports Tower. Forsyth Central has been a consistent force in the bracket stage 9 straight weeks now. They have made it at least to the semifinals. Meanwhile, the Barracudas started out hot. They were the first team ever to win 2 Rumbles. Fell in a little bit of a slump, nerdy, but now they are back and they are ready to make a statement in their first semifinals in over a month.
If my memory serves me properly, which of course, I did just go through finals, so it could fade a little bit. I do believe that Forsyth and Barracudas, at least before the introduction of St. John's Bosco, were kind of our 2 teams that always were gunning for that championship title. Forsyth might have boomed the Barracudas a little bit on the mental. However, since they've had a little bit of time off, they've made it through that slump, obviously, with their most recent gameplay that we've been able to see. I feel like Forsyth is going to, really have it a little bit more difficult than they have in the past lately.
Yeah, and I mean, these 2 teams are no strangers to each other. As you mentioned, before St. John's Bosco came in and kind of was the big kid on the block, these were 2 of the best teams we had. And not to mention, for the most part, when the Barracudas were struggling, their group usually looked like Forsyth Central, St. John's Bosco, which is just an absolute nightmare of a group to get out of. So these teams have played each other, I think, almost weekly for the last few months, and it's been Forsyth that's been staying in the Barracudas' way. So I don't think anybody's going to have any surprises up their sleeve. These teams are very, very familiar with each other. Before we get into the game, we got to get to Doc's keys. Play the shot and the rebound, disrupt the pathing of attackers, defend an attack boost, and rotate to the back post quickly. And anytime Forsyth Central is involved, you got to olay those demos now, KG. Used to be Meow is going to absolutely go for those. I think 3 straight weeks with an Exterminator medal, which is absolutely insane in the semifinals. Doc's keys are presented by the Esports Tower. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. Still a best of 3, much like our group stage here, and it's Forsyth Central and the Barracudas kicking things off. Forsyth Central wants back-to-back grand final appearances. Meanwhile, the Barracudas trying to be that second 3-time champion in the Esports Tower Rumble. They've got a new player, 5th Killer, in this week, and he looked pretty good in the group stage so far, Nerdy. We see Buddy in that familiar form, and hey, there's KG, new name, same outcome, huge demolition.
However, even with that demolition, there was a nice setup there from Jocks, allowing Yeezy to find that connecting shot in on the goal with just 20 seconds off the clock.
That was a great job, and I mean, we talked about that. Sometimes demos can lead to bad things. Usually KG knows when to time them, but an early huge goal there for the Barracudas, and Yeezy still looking his ever-strong solid. Oh, huge miscommunication on the kickoff for Forsyth Central. Yeezy's going to put it in a perfect spot. Buddy makes a save, but that was a disaster kickoff there for Forsyth Central. Nobody went for the ball. ZZ makes a great save and just launches it back to the blue side.
DJ manages to growl down onto the ground, but both Yeezy and Jocks are right there to put the pressure onto them. KG's going to try and play it off the wall to their teammate, with Buddy elevating with a nice shot on goal, but it's going to be cleared away by Yeezy, with Buddy getting a demolition out on 5th Killer.
So you're seeing Jocks going to corral this one. TJ barely dunks it over him. 5th Killer makes a great save. Yeezy's going to clear it all the way down into the corner. Buddy, though, will just launch it right back. Stopped at that midfield stripe by Yeezy, but TJ reads that one clearly, able to clear it away. Jocks hits it back. Not quite the clear he's looking for. Finally, a demolition for Yeezy this time onto the side of TJ. And KG just barely misses pushing that ball in, but so far the Barracudas have a ton of pressure that they have yet to get a good clear of as Easy finally gets a touch on the ball.
We've got DJ flying in to try and corral the ball down, but a little bit of pressure from Fifth Killer keeps it here on the side of Forsyth Central. Fox is going to elevate and manage to knock it back down. Fifth Killer will find a demolition there on DJ. TJ will have cleared him enough time to get a goal. I don't think so, as DJ's already respawned and manages to get the ball onto the side of Orange.
Fifth Killer able to carry it around one, gets stopped at midfield by Buddy. Jock's now going to launch it down on the net, ends up hitting the ceiling, changing its trajectory. Jock's able to get the double tap. KG able to push that one away. There's another demolition, this time from Easy, an explosive series already. We see that clear stop. KG going to try and get a nose on it, can't quite do it. TJ though, able to get a shot just wide of the net. Buddy tries to bicycle it in. Easy barely clears it away, and Forsyth has had a long relationship with that crossbar, and it strikes again.
And we do have Yeezy now trying to dribble it in. It will be knocked away by Buddy there right in front of the goal. All three members of the side of Forsyth are here trying to get this ball away. Buddy will find the demolition out on Jocks, but it won't be enough to find the goal, as there was a nice clear from one of the members of the Barracudas, and it just almost went in right there.
The ball was three-quarter black, and it did not get counted. I'm sure Forsyth has to be seething right now. Can they readjust, though? Double commit does come out. Ball actually gets pinched from between Jocks and Yeezy with a great clear. KG booms it back, though. And what a absolute crazy minute there, and Forsyth finds the goal.
That was beautiful.
Just absolute bullet from KG from his own side as well. And just like that, we're tied at 1. 2:13 left in the first game of this best of 3. Fifth Killer off the kickoff, able to win it pretty cleanly. Buddy's going to stop it and put it back towards midfield, where Yeezy takes a shot. Defended by KG. The spacing for Forsyth has been a little bit suspect so far in this game, but they've managed to only allow that one goal, as Easy looks for a rebound to DJ. TJ's having none of that.
We've got Fifth Killer trying to corral the ball away from Buddy here at the corner. Jocks is going to manage to knock it into the side. However, KG's there and gets a nice shot over to DJ at the mid. With Buddy elevating, no one's in the goal right now. Oh, Fifth Killer swoops in just in time to save it, as now they're trying to get this ball cleared to the mid.
KG gonna try and corral this one. Buddy's gonna get a touch on it, launch it all the way down into the corner. Once the follow-up, him and Jock will both miss though, and that should allow Fifth Killer very weak touch. KG gets a great center to DJ. TJ, and unfortunately just a bad touch results in a huge goal for Forsyth Central. That ball just popped up in the air. Fifth Killer not quite able to get to it in time, and a great goal there as the demolition goal scoring animation comes out.
I will not count those, but I want to.
It's the problem with tracking demolitions in our fancy overlay, is those goal scoring animations would really mess with it. As KG, no more demolition so far. You see 3 shots, 1 goal, and DJ TJ gets another great shot. Is turned away though, and so far Forsyth Central's put a lot of pressure here in our last minute and a half.
Well, they've only got 1 goal right now. They're trying to find that security one to make sure that they're up by 2, so there's no overtime about to happen. DJ gets a nice fake out there and manages to get the ball here into the corner, playing it off that back wall over to Buddy, but it's going to be saved by Fifth Killer and allowing Yeezy to take it up the side here. The pressure coming out from KG, however, is going to knock it all the way into the corner over to DJ TJ.
Oh, no follow-up there as KG ends up getting behind Jock. Jock will fake him out as he's looking for that demo. Yeezy pops it up in the air. Him and Fifth Killer, though, right next to each other, so that long-distance shot, the only one Barracudas get on that possession. Buddy makes a great save. Can't quite carry it down to the corner. Nice pass, just a hair in front of Yeezy. And what could have been for the Barracudas as the demolition comes out. 15 seconds left. They're in a 3-on-2 chance here for Jocks. Just got to get the pass to Yeezy, but DJ TJ with a great clear in the final 10 seconds.
Fifth Killer tried to snag that ball away from DJ, ended up getting demoed instead. The ball's still staying over here on the side of the Barracudas. As the clock ticks down, it's just a matter of it touching the ground. Can the Barracudas find that extra goal? And they will not.
Yeah, just a great performance for both these teams. I mean, Forsyth, we know about St. John's Bosco. We'll talk more about them in our second semifinal. But Forsyth, I've heard a lot of people say they're probably one of the top 5 high school teams in the country. They are actually in the High School Esports League semifinals this weekend. They took down Florence 1, another longtime Esports Tower team, 4-3. And so they're in the finals of that league. They're in this Rumble as well. So the Barracudas only losing by 1 goal. They're right there with a top 5 high school team. That is how insane the talent is in these Esports Tower Rumbles.
I do have a side note about Forsyth Central, actually. So we've seen the reoccurrence of KG, and we thought that was Meow changing their name up a little bit. Turns out it is not. Meow is another player that they have in their pocket on their roster, so we might be able to see the KG and Meow being the demolitions experts, kind of swapping in and out based off the situation. That's always a nice aspect of having multiple players on your roster, and not just a set 3 stack. However, it might make things a little bit difficult to play out off of that, considering it changes the play style so much.
Yeah, and I do like that change, though, for Forsyth. I thought that was maybe their 1 week leak against St. John's Bosco in the championship last time, because St. John's Bosco neutralized Meow. I think they actually had more demolitions on the Meow than Meow had. So I could see maybe changing the deck, because, I mean, Forsyth, they want to take down St. John's Bosco. Like I said, this is a team on a mission. 9 straight weeks in a row in the bracket stage, looking for back-to-back grand finals. They're up 1-0 right now, but the Barracudas, they had multiple chances. That pass with the final 15 seconds, if that's just a little bit closer to fifth killer, we're in a tie game. So, I mean, the Barracudas are a talented team. I would not count them out yet and just pencil in Forsyth Central into the finals. If you do, very, very light, make it easily erasable, because the Barracudas have the talent to turn it around. You see right off the kickoff, Fifth Killer's just going to miss. Yeezy hits the crossbar, and a golden opportunity turns into a goal. I like the name, by the way, Buddy.
Yeah, I was
I like
to
that.
ask, did you see the question that Buddy's asking you right there?
He's a little late. Last I checked, he's about 4 months too late or 8 months too early. But I'm always down, Buddy. I love the name. At least he's not on a toaster this week.
Yes, that makes everybody happy all around. Glad. I still want to know what type of toaster that was, because you played insane regardless. Yes. So we do see Buddy's managing to take the ball all the way over to the side of the Barracudas yet again, but Yeezy manages to get just the hood touch on it to clear it over to the side.
Well, Fifth Killer's going to corral that one. Ends up hitting it right back to KG, however. As Buddy's going to corral that one in the corner. When Buddy's scoring, this one Forsyth is unstoppable. He's been pretty quiet in this series, which is a great job by the Barracudas as KG comes charging in, going to slam that one into the ground in the corner. Buddy just misses on a golden pass there. Jock's going to clear it away. It's been the story of this series, though, Nerdy. Great save by the Barracudas, but the pressure is always on the orange side as Buddy with a great pass to DJ TJ. Oh, they had the setup. Unfortunately, I think Buddy was just a smidge too slow.
Physics is not everybody's strong suit, obviously, but it's okay. Buddy still manages to get possession of the ball here and get the demo out onto Jock, but it's still remaining on the side of Forsyth. DJ's managing to dribble it up a little bit, but Yeezy will get the clearing shot over towards the goal, dropping it right in front of Buddy.
Another huge demo. I would never believe that KG's a different player, because them and Meow get so many demos. It's absolutely insane. Forsyth has mastered the art of the demos. They set that one up right in front of the net. Is there a follow-up? There's not. Yeezy's going to try and pass it down. He's got Fifth Killer right in the midfield. Ends up trying to pass it over to Jocks, who in the corner barely gets a touch on it around Buddy. Ball centered up, but a great clear there from KG.
It drops right in front of Jocks, allowing Yeezy to get a touch on it, but it's going to go wide to the right of the goal. KG's there for the follow-up. They now dribble it past multiple members of the side of the Barracudas. However, Jocks will elevate, knocking it right in front of the goal. DJ will get the save as Fifth Killer gets the demo out onto DJ TJ.
Buddy's going to clear towards midfield. Fifth Killer can't quite get a touch on it. Buddy's going to follow it up, go for the double tap, can't quite find it. DJ TJ wants to keep it alive, hits it over to the corner. There's another demolition onto Fifth Killer. Another one onto Yeezy as well. Forsyth Central, I talked about it in Doc's Keys. You gotta array those demos, Barracudas. You cannot get demo 3 times. Buddy can't quite get it in, though. The crossbar is still the nemesis for Forsyth Central, but my goodness, they have to be winning your demo counter over there, Nerdy.
Oh, yeah, they are currently in the lead by 3, as we do see Fifth Killer, though, managing to get the clear, the assist, and the goal there. Nicely done, and with no gasoline on the field.
Absolutely great there by Fifth Killer. Unfortunately, I mean, like I said, Forsyth, it felt like their one weakness was the crossbar. It wasn't themselves, it was the crossbar. They had their issues with it. We thought they made amends, and unfortunately they hit the crossbar multiple times. We again have ourselves a tie game. Buddy gonna try and pop it over Jocks, not quite able to. Ends up bumping his own teammate out of the way. DJ TJ with a great clear down. Yeezy, the last man to beat, pops it over, and Buddy readjusts perfectly in air, gets a shot. Jocks makes a great save. Once again, ball's on the orange side where it feels like it's been all game long.
Side control, it's one of those keys we've talked about, and unfortunately, that percentage of time it spends on one side typically means that's the side that's going to be suffering the most, as we do see that clear come out with a nice centering shot from Yeezy, with Buddy barely making it there in time for the clear, and a demo coming out on DJ TJ.
Buddy's able to pop it up in the air, looking to clear it away. DJ TJ off the respawn, though, with a great hit. KG chasing down, rallies it around the corner, pops it up in the air. No follow-up, though, and Fifth Killer's going to be able to push it down. Buddy immediately clears it back. Minute and a half left. KG and DJ TJ both going to kind of commit on that ball. Still on that blue side. KG sets it up almost perfectly for Fifth Killer, who recenters it to Jox. KG makes a great save.
Yeezy pops it high, but DJ finds it and manages to bullet that shot down to the midfield. Jox pops it high into the air. It gets knocked down right there from DJ TJ trying to corral the ball down here in the corner. Buddy's going to take it off that back wall. We see Jox elevate and manages to knock it to the midfield, and it's going to bounce off the back of KG, but with the help from DJ TJ, they get the clear.
No, there's a demolition from Jox, odd to Buddy. Maybe the tables have turned. Minute left, still a tie game here. Forsyth is on game point as Jox tries to clear it down to Yeezy. Buddy barely dunks it over Yeezy. And now is able to clear that ball down. Jox retreating. KG with a great bump out of the way. Gonna pass pass to TJ DJ, but he's not quite able to get to it. Buddy's gonna have to corral this one in the corner, and he's just gonna launch it all the way down to the other side where KG is waiting.
We've got Yeezy trying to beat KG to that ball, and ultimately they both pull back with Fifth Killer getting a nice shot over to Yeezy. And however, it's going to get knocked all the way to, it looks like to KG's tires right there. Yeezy calculates that one perfectly, knocking it high in front of the goal yet again as DJ's trying to corral it down.
It's all even production there, having a little bit of fun with Buddy's name, though I do take offense to that last sentence, production. I'm now always going to be rooting for Forsyth. With 10 seconds left until overtime. Buddy can't quite find it. Jox, huge shot. DJ TJ clears it away. Very precarious spot for this ball to be. Can Buddy keep it alive? Just barely in the corner. Yeezy looking to clear it away. Got to just ground the ball. KG!
Oh my God!
Oh, it's
KG!
right in front of the net!
Oh!
DJ TJ 2 seconds away from winning it in regulation. And we head into overtime here between these talented teams as Buddy's now going to hit it down into the corner. Yeezy looking to end it right now. Ball gets stolen away. Fifth Killer pops it up in the air. But Jock should be able to at least keep it clear of his own net.
Got KG over here trying to corral it down. It does get moved away by Yeezy. Now they're on the offensive push. The ball's right in front of the goal, played off that back wall. Jox gets a nice touch on it. Buddy manages to find the save, and now they're rotating back towards the blue goal. The demolition comes out on the Fifth Killer from Buddy right there. Yeezy playing it off that back wall, trying to get around DJ. Can't quite do it. The help from Jox. They might be able to find that clear. KG gets a nice centering shot onto the goal. The follow-up from Buddy, but it's going to get knocked away by Yeezy.
Oh, here comes KG off the demo. Ball's a bit wide, and Fifth Killer's able to corral it. Buddy makes a great save. Does pay for it with his life, though. Going to get hit all the way down into that corner. Jox looks like he's going to be corral it. DJ TJ steals it away. Buddy off the respawn. Can't get high enough to stop Yeezy. Fifth Killer and Yeezy both there. KG now gets a wide open net, but Yeezy makes a great save.
That pass ends up in front of Fifth Killer. Now they've got to play it around multiple members of the side of Forsyth, but KG manages to get a shot towards the goal. DJ's there for the follow-up, as is Buddy. Fox manages to get the clear right there. Now they've got to just play it past all three members of the side of Forsyth as DJ calculates that one perfectly, just barely missing the goal, but the follow-up from themselves will find that golden goal.
Absolutely spectacular solo play from DJ TJ. You see he reads that save by Fifth Killer perfectly, puts it on net, and it will be Forsyth Central who wins the series 2-0. And I will say, name aside, Buddy had a fantastic play. We actually got a great angle on it. He drives into the goal, whips a 180 perfectly with the air brake, and then saves it with an epic save. When Forsyth Central is firing on all cylinders, they're almost impossible to score on. Not even having to worry about what they're going to do offensively. They have such a great defense. They can be really hard to break sometimes.
Yeah, it's how it is.
I mean, don't forget, this is a top 5 team in the country, and the Barracudas lost by a combined 2 goals, and one of those games went to overtime. The Barracudas, they've broken that month-long slump, and I think any single time they have a chance to make it to the finals, they are almost dead even, it feels like, with Forsyth Central. Well, you know, Nerdy, you can see how going at it alone can only get you so far. Ultimately, if you want to increase your chances of success, you have to level up your teaming skills. We saw it with the Barracudas. They got in a new player. They brought in Fifth Killer. They made it to the semifinals, and you just just have to wonder what could have been. They gave Forsyth Central everything they could handle in that semifinal matchup. Esports Tower takes time to create teams of well-matched teammates. I'll give a shout-out to Coach Jake. If those of you who are watching haven't checked out the Esports Tower clubs, you should. It's a fast track to rank up. And I think the Esports Tower, that's something that we've noticed time and time again. They've done a great job of watching these games, and for their teams, we see it. Hey, you know what? There's a new player this week for the Mammoths, new player this week for the Spiders, new player this week for the Barracudas, and almost every single time an Esports Tower team that has a new player has immediately responded by making it to our bracket stage. They clearly know what they're doing in terms of teaming up players for the most success.
I think that just comes down to just, honestly understanding your players' strengths, and they definitely do that.
Yeah, that was absolutely phenomenal. And even though Forsyth won, like I said, the Barracudas, they feel like they're right there. They feel like they are even with Forsyth Central. You lose a best-of-3 series by a combined 2 goals, you're right there with them. There's a couple missed opportunities, but unfortunately, Forsyth will advance. We will check in on the Barracudas. I know there might be a third-place game we don't get a chance to take a look at, but we'll see if the Barracudas are able to pull that victory off. We will take a break, and now it's time for what is probably the best high school team in the country, St. John's Bosco. They have lost only 1 series in the Rumble in 3 appearances. They're going for their 4th championship in 5 weeks. Or can the Esports Tower Spiders, now with Quez, knock them off in a historic upset? Find out after this break.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives and led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Decided to push it back.
Sounds good.
Welcome back into this broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble, broadcasting from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We're on to our second semifinal. Half of what we expected to maybe make it there. Forsyth Central, though they really had to struggle to get past the Barracudas. Do not make anyone think that was an easy series by far. Now we'll see. They can go up against last week's opponent and probably the best team we've seen in the Esports Tower. That is St. John's Bosco. They have won 3 championships in 3 tries. They have only lost 1 series at all. That was a group play game last week to Forsyth Central. They're taking on the Spiders, who have a new player, who have looked really strong. But still, this is the best high school team in the country. I don't think anyone would argue with that fact. Maybe someone who is in the Rumbles might say something, but you are what we see on paper right now. We see St. John's Bosco is almost impossible to stop, and they are going for what would be an unprecedented 4th championship in 5 weeks.
You know, Fish, I said it once, and it actually, I don't know if I want to say ironically or what here. I said to Rule 1, I think it was either Forsyth or St. John's Bosco to make it easier for your side to get an advantage here, and I'm talking specifically to the Spiders. You may have to pull out a Rule 1 to shut down one player of St. John's so that you have a better opportunity to go about scoring goals. And, you know, if you're on the offensive and you Rule 1 someone, they can't move unless one of their teammates boops you away. So, just saying.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I haven't ever, you know, asked, someone like a Boise State player or an Esports Tower player how hard it is to Rule 1 someone. We've seen, I think, twice, maybe 3 times in our time here. I think we're on week 12 now of the Esports Tower. So I don't know how hard or easy it is, but I think you're totally right. And you said that earlier. Say, hey, just Rule 1. St. John's Bosco. It's that easy. And that team ended up winning in overtime. So it's always a strategy. I think the other strategy has to be keep the ball off the ground. Here's how we started the day. Our 3 separate groups. We are on to the semifinals. Forsyth Central just took down the Barracudas, and now it's time to see if St. John's Bosco will make it to their championship game against the Spiders. But like you said, Rule 1 them, keep the ball on the ground. Maybe the Spiders have a chance.
My fingers are crossed in faith of them at least, you know, getting the opportunity to show off a little bit in this game.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane what St. John's Bosco has done, but I think it was the Swerve last week who gave them a run for their money, absolutely kept the game close. We had a little bit of a blowout one of the games, but that was because St. John's Bosco scored, I think, 4 goals in the final 30 seconds. So anything is possible. As we see off the kickoff, a great win there. Fear Classic, our reigning ICCU player of the week, takes a shot on net. Me on switch, not quite able to get another touch on it, and Slayer's going to be able to clear it down. And this St. John's Bosco team is incredibly talented. From all 3 members, they all show up at times, and there's that ball in the air. That's what you cannot have against St. John's Bosco, as it results in a goal.
Yeah, Turbo's there for the follow-up, just connecting that pass for the first goal, and not even 30 seconds have elapsed in this first round.
Yeah, I mean, Turbo plays that one perfectly from Fear Classic. Even though that was on the ground, I think that has to be what the Spiders need to focus on. Ball on the ground in front of your own net. We've seen time and time again. If the ball's in the air in front of the opposing net, St. John's Bosco will score probably about 80 to 90% of the time.
They tried to go for that off-the-wall tee-up pass once again. Thankfully, or unthankfully, it did not work out in their favor that time. We do see Vibes get booped around quite a bit right there. Slayer's trying to go in for the shot on goal right here. They do have Quez waiting there, though, to try and boop it away, and ultimately it will get knocked away. However, for the side of St. John's, they still have control of the ball, as we see right there. It looked like Vibes manages to get the clear in front of the blue goal, and Slayer, unfortunately, trying to pop it high, ends up knocking it into the goal.
Yeah, great job by Vibes, stealing that one away, setting up Quez, who just comes in for the perfect shot. As you mentioned, Slayer tried to push it up, couldn't quite get it above that crossbar, though, and just like that, we have our tie game, 45 seconds in. See how this kickoff goes. Turbo can't quite win it. Me on switch doing a great job. Now Fear Classic wants to dribble it towards the net and make a play himself, and that's why he's the reigning ICCU player of the week.
Cannot discount this great pass that occurred over prior to that between a couple of players to help set that up. It took away some of the attention also. The double commit was a little risky for the side of the Spiders, though. They got to be careful doing that.
St. John's Bosco, they really made a name for themselves in their first Rumble, just absolutely dominating teams on the kickoff. I mean, we talked about it. They hit the ball over to the side. They scored, I think, 5 or 6 kickoff goals as Turbo dribbles that one down. Quez able to make a save. Does it once again on Slayer. Now he's in a one-on-one with Fear Classic. Ball going towards the net. It's just wide. The Fear Classic able to corral it. Great pass over to Turbo, and you can't teach that vision. They saw that play on their own side in front of their own net.
Holy cow.
I mean, if you're, Vibes or me on Switch, how do you even predict that's going on net? That is an insanely accurate shot from Turbo. And again, a reason why we preach you got to keep the ball on the ground against these guys. As Fear Classic tries to dribble it up, me on Switch will pop it up in the air. I think he's trying to pass it over to Quez, who corrals it now in the corner. Gets it around one, gets it around a second one here. Great chance, Slayer, the only one in the goal. That pass back misses, and now Turbo's going to have a free shot on net, but the demolition should be enough to stop it.
They have respawn, though, and the follow-up from Fear Classic will find that second goal for St. John's.
I mean, that was a great job demoing him. Just couldn't quite get to the ball. And Fear Classic on the trail, able to set that one up. I think hitting the crossbar as well. Maybe getting a nice bounce. Maybe me on Switch hit it in. I didn't quite see, but St. John's Bosco, they look in peak form. But the Spiders, I think, Turbo was perfect position. Why wouldn't he be?
Still, great shot right there from Vibes that came out. And then we do see right now, we've got Neon trying to battle it out for the ball. We do also have Quez right there trying to get it away. It drops right in front of the goal. Quez elevates, just barely knocking in front. Turbo gets a loop on it, but Quez thankfully allows for the pinch to go a little bit wide to the left of the goal. But the follow-up from Fear Classic, getting them that hat trick already. Holy cow, Fear Classic.
Yeah, just absolutely insane. I mean, just the perfect setup from Slayer, basically looking like a T for Fear Classic, and this St. John's Bosco team has ballooned this goal to 5-1, but I think there's still plenty of opportunities for the Spiders to get back into it. Slayer's going to win the kickoff. The demolition will happen off screen as Quez now will challenge Turbo, clears that ball back towards midfield. Slayer, though, going to take a shot. Turbo waiting right on the net, and I don't even know how he did that.
I didn't even think Turbo had a touch on that ball.
He's going to hit it right there.
Oh,
just barely.
Just the back of the car.
I don't know how you do that. I don't know how in a game this fast-paced you angle yourself so just your front bumper gently nudges the ball in the right direction. I don't know how you do that. Or how you prep for that.
The finesse.
It's absolutely insane. Vibes trying to take a shot, not able to find it. Turbo does clear it away. He did get a hat trick as well on that goal. And now Slayer's trying to join. And that is a great play from Slayer. Absolutely faked out the side of the Spider because you think he's going for this ball, and he just misses it on purpose. Just like that, you throw the guy off. I don't know how you stop this team, Nerdy. I really don't.
I am actually speechless right now because St. John's Bosco has upped their game yet again, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because they know that we've called them out on their play style, and they're like, okay, casters, if you don't want to see us making those cross-map shots, we'll do them sneakier now. And they've done just that. We do see Neon managing to play it past two people and getting that goal even past Turbo. Nicely done.
Yeah, I think the scoreline is not going to be indicative of how talented the Spiders are. Me on Switch with an absolutely fantastic goal there to shrink the lead a little bit. I mean, this St. John's Bosco team, like I said, probably the best high school team in the country. I've been told that Jake, one of the Esports Tower head coaches, says that he doesn't think there's another high school team in the country that could beat St. John's Bosco. We'll see if Forsyth Central can maybe do it if St. John's Bosco gets out of the semifinal. But, I mean, that is how talented. Even the Esports Tower coaches are like, yeah, we don't even have an answer, and we do VOD review as much as anybody.
Sometimes you just get some gifted players. As we mentioned, there's probably something in the water down there.
Yeah.
We've got Turbo right now being their clear shot, the assist, and the follow-up for a goal yet again, as there was a demolition that came out, I believe, onto Slayer right there, but it was not enough to stop that forward push.
It's an excellent job. I mean, all the way from their own goal as well. We'll see if the Spiders can start to work things back here. Like I said, these Esports Tower teams have given St. John's Bosco a good run for their money. The Swerve did last week. I think the first couple minutes of this game as well. As Quez tries to clear it down. Fear Classic's going to pop it up in the air. Vibes looking to redirect it. Shot just a little too slow, and Slayer will make an easy save. Me on Switch just barely able to dunk it away from one, but Turbo will corral it. Looks like he's going to maybe try and back pass it to Fear Classic. Actually going to dribble it towards his own net, use that as a springboard to play it down to Slayer. And Quez unfortunately going to stop that even with the demolition coming out. And now Quez with a chance here. He can maybe air dribble this one in. Oh, of course, Turbo just makes a fantastic save.
And we do have Fear Classic now taking it up the mid with some help from Slayer right there. They managed to knock it all the way down to the corner. Quez is trying to play it around them. However, the boot from Slayer ultimately will find that connecting shot into the goal, bringing us to a 9-2 goal.
And just a great combination there. Slayer ends up hitting it with the back of the car on the pinball. St. John's Bosco, I mean, I will be very interested to see if this week's grand final, at least the way we're trending, is a different result between St. John's Bosco and Forsyth Central. As St. John's Bosco feels like they are on another level as Quez. Nice little pinch there. And he's going to try and clear it away. Can't quite do it. Fear Classic takes a shot of 5, pushes it back. Slayer, I think, just got pushed by his own teammate. Into the ball, into the goal.
Probably wasn't intentional, but it works out like that sometimes. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, they were. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. I mean, like I said, though, the Spiders, they took a week off last week. They've been trying to improve in this Rumble. Quez subbed in for the Barracudas as well. This will be their best finish since week 6. So 6 weeks ago was the last time they made it to the bracket stage. I think that's something the Esports Tower teams do really well, is they take a couple weeks off. We've seen it with the Mammoths, we've seen it with the Scorpions, and there might be a couple others. The Swerve, I think, as well. They take a couple weeks off, and then they come back strong as ever. And I think that's one of the great things about the Esports Towers. They clearly have something that they can pull off in practice that makes these teams better. Quez should have a wide open goal.
Yes!
And he'll let it bounce in. In the long run, unfortunately, it won't help, but it will at least close up the scoreline a little bit. As he just kind of let this one too. He's like, cool guys don't look at explosions. I'm gonna turn away. I think the Spiders are a team like the Swerve that in a couple of weeks with some good practice, they could join that list of 2 or 3 teams that we think can give St. John's Bosco a run for their money before we're ultimately proven wrong.
I love how you have to add on that until we're proven wrong moment there, just so we don't accidentally curse ourselves. We do see Quez manage to get a nice demolition out on Turbo right there, probably slowing down the opportunity for the side of St. John's to reverse that sweep there. Unfortunately, the ball will end up hitting the ground, ending that round.
I mean, like I said, that scoreline, I mean, much like we saw earlier, not indicative of how that game played out. I think the Spiders did a really, really good job of keeping that game close. I mean, they had it tied at one point. It's just, you can't, there's so many things that we had to say, okay, now it's watch out for the demos. St. John Bosco has stolen that from Forsyth Central, and they're just demoing as much as they are. Now you can't keep the ball on the ground. You have to keep the ball on the ground. You have to avoid the demos. You have to win the kickoff. It's just like a laundry list of things you have to do to have a chance to beat St. John's Bosco, and that's just asking a lot of really any team at this point.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to put on anybody in any regard. But I won't lie, the Spiders obviously have improved dramatically over the course of the last few weeks. I've been able to see them definitely with their new roster. They've shaken things up a little bit. They've found kind of their rhythm and their niche a little bit there. They're finding some great clears and some great shots. They're just missing a little bit of follow-up. And then the disruption that was coming out from St. John's, just constantly knocking a few of those players around, made it really hard for them to do much of anything. So I guess that's kind of plays into allay the demos, also allay the disruption a little bit.
Yep.
And, try to even out that score just a tiny bit more.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the other thing is we saw some of those goals. We talk about, okay, when the ball's on your side, keep it on the ground. I mean, now we saw Turbo and Fear Classic set up a goal from their own goal, like from their own side. I mean, it is just so hard to be able to have the aerial talent that St. John's Bosco does. Like I said, I think the Spiders are a very strong team as Quez wins that kickoff quite handily. Ends up running into a wall of St. John's Bosco players, and the ball gets hit back to the orange side. Turbo looking to take a shot. We see Doc's keys to the game. And you can do all those things, and then you can still, unfortunately, not have what you need. As there's a demolition from Fear Classic, and that is the one thing I think St. John's Bosco has added to their repertoire in recent weeks, is that demolition. That's going to allow a great shot from Slayer, turned away by Vibes, and great early start for the Spiders.
Got Quez trying to beat Slayer to the ball here. It does get knocked away from the orange goal by Turbo all the way back down towards their own goal. Slayer's going to take it up the side, but with a little loop right there from Quez, isn't going to quite get the shot that they want. Fear Classic's going to try and elevate here to play it over to, I think, Turbo there. They managed to do just that, but running into each other, it gets cleared to the side with a little help from Quez.
Slayer's going to put it back in front of the net. Tried to redirect that one. Wasn't able to find it. He'll pop it up in front of the net for Fear Classic, who just misses on it. Turbo ends up hitting it the wrong way, but the back pass to Slayer will work out. He'll grab the full boost in the corner, and now he's got Turbo trying to cherry pick in the goal. But Quez and me on Twitch able to both stop that. Fear Classic pops it up. Turbo now has to leave his cherry picking spot. As Quez going to launch it down, but Slayer able to make the great save.
Quest is going to try to play this one off the wall. We've got Fear Classic, though, is going to be there for the save off the ground, knocking it into the corner. They're now going to try and dribble it past a couple members of the Spiders, but Turbo ends up hitting it back towards the goal, over above Slayer, managing to play it off that back wall to Fear Classic. It's now going to drop at the midfield, and it looks like Quez is going to manage to get a little bit of a redirect, but Turbo once again popping a high for one of their teammates for that back pass.
So Fear Classic tries to take a shot. The Spiders defense has, strengthened up here just a little bit in this game too. Now Fear Classic trying to set up Turbo. I think that time they were going for the fake out on Quez. He did not fall for it though. Now the ball ends up right in front, and Fear Classic ends up scoring that from quite the angle. I don't know how he scored this. I know he wanted to pass it to Turbo, but the ball kind of just rolled in.
Yeah, I don't even think Turbo did not get a touch on that. We didn't see the assist pop up for them. Somehow, the physics of the ball worked in their favor right there.
That was an impressive goal for Fear Classic. And how about impressive? How about another one?
And that one was a turtle. Nicely done.
And we talk about this, the power of the St. John's Bosco kickoff. Right off the kickoff, he reads it perfectly, turtles it into the net. Just they're on another level. You have to play perfect for 5 minutes to be able to beat this team.
And asking for perfection from anybody is very difficult, as we do see Fear Classic try to go for that notorious waterfall shot. Thankfully, it looked like we had Quez elevating, managing to knock that one away with another clear shot from Neon Switch right there. Slayer, however, is gonna end up demoing Quez, leaving them down one person as the ball does cross over towards the side of blue.
Slayer now gonna try and carry this one all the way down. He's got Turbo assisting. Vibes though makes a great save. Fear Classic tries to recenter. Neon Switch able to clear it away. Turbo's gonna back pass it. Very risky to Slayer, and actually scores on himself. Little bit of a overzealous play here from Turbo.
It looks like St. John's Bosco, as opposed to going for those off-the-wall resets off the side walls, they're trying to back pass above their own goal, and it's creating some very risky situations for themselves.
Yeah, just a little too strong on that one. Turbo will redeem himself, though, immediately with a great win on the kickoff. Vibes, though, gets a great demolition. Ball ends up right in front of the net. Neon Switch able to hit Slayer out of the way. Center it back up. It looks like Quez able to clear it. Now Fear Classic sees his opportunity. Trying for the double tap here, but a great save by Quez.
Quez is now going to play it past Turbo, and it's going to go right in front of the goal. And the follow-up from Neon's going to find that equalizer, and we've got a even score game with just 1 second over 2 minutes remaining.
Yeah, that has been one of the few criticisms of St. John's Bosco, is sometimes they do go all out for a goal and open themselves up to those cross-map scoring opportunities. Usually they're able to score before they get punished, but we see that rear its ugly head there as Quez able to win that kickoff, set up Neon Switch with a chance to give the Spiders the lead with less than 2 minutes left. Fear Classic corrals that one. He'll pop it up in the air. Take a shot on net. Quez able to make a great save, though, but they've got to find a clear for the Spiders.
Slayer knocks it into the corner. We do have Quez once again hitting it high a little bit over to the side. Turbo's getting bumped around a lot. Can't quite get the connection on that ball. Slayer will pop it high in front of the goal. There's no one there to follow it up. So Neon's going to manage to play it off the side over to Quez, who gets a nice clearing shot over to the blue goal. However, Slayer's going to read that one perfectly, taking it down here into the corner, as we do see 2 members of the Spiders trying to corral it away from them.
Quez trying to play it around Turbo, able to do that, but Fear Classic does a great job dunking that one over. Now Turbo pops it up in the air. Vibes is down in the corner with him. Vibes gets bumped out of the way. Quez pops it up. Fear Classic gets a attempted shot. Turbo ends up kind of hitting that ball in the wrong direction, and Neon Switch able to make a great save with just over a minute left in a tie game.
Slayer's trying to get this ball away from Neon Switch, who's now out of boost here on the side of Orange. The pass back from Slayer was just a little bit too far to the left. Fear Classic has another shot on goal, once again going a little too far to the right. Turbo's there to play it off the back, but Quez will disrupt it, sending it over to the side. Slayer's going to try and tee it up off the wall here, but it's going to go too far to the right once again.
Oh, looks like we had a collision with Slayer and Turbo that threw him off. Now they have to make a great stop, and it ends up going in. A rare double commit through Turbo off the ball, and Vibes capitalized, and the Spiders have the lead with under a minute left.
If the Spiders can win this kickoff, they have a shot to maintain this lead.
Well, Quez does a great job winning that kickoff, but Turbo immediately hits it back. Gets saved, though, by Vibes. Fear Classic's going to keep this ball on the side of Orange, though, so probably a few more shots going to go in from St. John's Bosco, or at least attempted here in our final seconds. And another great save by Vibes as well.
We've got Neon trying to challenge Fear Classic for that ball. Unfortunately, they won't be able to do that, as we do see Turbo taking out Neon with just a couple seconds remaining. The ball just has to touch the ground. However, if it stays in the air, that is going to spell doom for the side of the Spiders to maintain their lead, because this notorious route for the side of St. John's to get those aerial shots and score those goals. Thankfully, it does get knocked down, and that leads the Spiders to win match 2.
Yeah, that was a great performance by the Spiders. I think St. John's Bosco, you know, kind of maybe got a little bit overzealous. We had that long own goal from Turbo. They ended up running into each other, double committing on the game-winning goal. But a great job by the Spiders to, one, keep that game closer, to rally, and to force us into a Game 3 and put St. John's Bosco on the brink of elimination. And I think the Spiders team, like we've seen, that's the other thing the Esports Tower teams do well. We've seen some lopsided goals in our semifinals. And then the second game, it always feels like the Esports Tower teams have come out in a way and they know how to immediately attack their weaknesses. And usually Game 2 has been a lot closer than Game 1. And I think that's another great thing the Esports Tower has done is, hey, you know what? Even if Game 1 goes wrong, reset your mental in 60 seconds, focus on what you need to improve on. And a lot of times they do just that.
I think, honestly, for the Spiders to maintain that little bit of extra oomph that they had in that last match is to continue to win those kickoffs so that St. John's Bosco has to completely reset their game plan every single time in order to how they're going to score that goal. However, they do still have to make sure that they're keeping up those rotations, getting back to that back post, because Turbo is notorious for getting those cross-map shots off even from the ground. We ourselves don't fully understand how it's possible, but they make it possible in some way, shape, or form. So Spiders, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing some great work right now.
Yeah, 5 minutes away from what would be one of the biggest upsets we've seen in the Esports Tower. As we kick off Game 3, Fear Classic got Turbo and Slayer flanking him on both sides, trying to pass it over to Slayer, not able to find it. Me on Switch, able to clear it away. Turbo now setting it up, going to try and carry it in himself, sets it up off the back wall perfectly for a teammate. Ball just kind of dies in front of the net. Vibes looking for the clear. Slayer going to take advantage of the bad touch and put it in for the first goal.
That was a little bit slower pace than what we're used to seeing from both these teams. I was a little bit surprised. Maybe they're trying to do some, I don't know. I think you call it, you know, trigger finger discipline in an FPS. Would you call it like gas pedal discipline in Rocket League?
I think that's probably the best thing to call it. Yeah, I mean, you know, I guess you could always just call it trigger discipline, because I mean, you do have to, you know, kind of use one of the triggers to use your boost, depending on how your button layout is. But yeah, I mean, it definitely is been a lot more reserved here as Fear Classic and Turbo now trying to combine for the long court shot. Slayer going to try and center it up, but Quez will clear it away. Turbo keeping it on that orange side, though, looks to center it up, and once again, a little bit of a teammate-on-teammate shuffle there. It's going to allow me on Switch in a one-on-one. He tried to deke out Slayer. He didn't fall for it, though.
Quez and Vibes, though, are looking to try and keep this ball on the side of Orange. However, Fear Classic's going to play it over their heads. Neon's already there, though, and with a little help from Quez, they managed to boop it away, but Slayer finds that demo out onto Neon's Switch. However, the ball's still staying over here on the side of St. John's Bosco.
Turbo going to launch it all the way down to Fear Classic. Not able to connect. Double commit comes out from Slayer and Turbo, and me on Switch trying to clear it to Quez, who would have had a wide open net, but they can't quite get it that far. Fear Classic plays it beautifully to himself off the wall. Pass over to Turbo, but Quez will make a great save before he gets demoed for it.
Now they've just got 2 to beat in the net. Now Quez is respawned. However, Slayer's trying to play it around Neon. Switch the little help from Turbo. However, it won't be enough. The ball does cross that center line, but Fear Classic finds a nice shot into the corner over to Turbo, trying to play it off the wall here to Fear Classic.
See, it's going to get popped up in the air at midfield. Turbo, dangerous pass back to Fear Classic, but this time they do connect for a huge clear. Slayer is now going to pop it up behind the net. One chance for Turbo. Slayer ends up getting a hood on it. Recenter attempt from Fear Classic, and the man scores once again at an absolutely ridiculous angle.
I don't know how it's possible.
I mean, it's perpendicular to goal almost. Hits it in.
It doesn't make any sense. My brain does not cannot compute.
I don't know how Fear Classic does it. He is an impressive goal scorer, as unfortunately the Spiders kind of fell asleep on that kickoff.
You know, still though, 3 goals, 2 minutes for the side of St. John's Bosco. That definitely shows that the Spiders are putting up a fight here. A little miscommunication there, resulting in a 3rd goal, but 3 minutes, more than enough time for the the Spiders to even this one out.
Yeah, plenty of time here. As we see Fear Classic, Demolition does come out, but does not hit the ball in the right direction. Now it will be redirected by Slayer, barely over me on Switch. Vibe's gonna miss as well. And it's a hat trick for Slayer, and St. John's Bosco now extending that lead. I like that. Just cover up what we just saw. Hide it with the Bobo dice.
Yes.
We don't want to see that one again. So we see a full commit.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. I've never seen that many players go for a kickoff before.
Someone was trying to make the magic happen, and unfortunately they took it away from each other there. We do see Slayer managing to get it over, but a shot from, oh my gosh, midfield from Quez with their own follow-up will bring them to that first goal. 2.5 minutes left. You might be able to find 3 shots, Quez, with some help of your teammates. I really hope we can see this go into overtime. Turbo barely missed that save there on that goal. Always a little unfortunate to be in that situation.
See here. Another great kickoff win for Fear Classic with me on Switch. Able to clear it all the way down into the corner. Fear Classic not able to get a nose on it, but Fear now he will pop it up in the air to himself. Once again, Slayer was there with him though, and Quez is gonna take advantage of that, clears it down, gets a demolition as well. Looks to whip around, maybe make a play, gets it around Turbo. Slayer gonna respawn right in front of the ball. Turbo's gonna be able to make the easy save.
Now Slayer's gonna play it over Neon Switch. We've got 2 members of the side of the Spiders, now all 3 here waiting in the goal. Quest is gonna try to play it around a couple members of St. John's Bosco. However, Turbo's gonna read it perfectly, dropping it down right in front of the goal. They're there for the follow-up, as is Fear Classic, but Fear's more or less bumping around Neon, trying to prevent them from even being able to touch the ball. Slayer's gonna try and knock it away.
We got a Rule 1.
Oh my, what? That's not even a full Rule 1, but okay, go for it.
Oh, looks like somebody might have
broke the rules just
broke the rules. I think it was the orange team that kind of let off the break, and that's deserved. If you break the Rule 1, that's deserved.
Yeah.
I think you could see in the replay that he is still hunting down me on Switch. Yeah, I mean, it looked like me on Switch let go of the gas, maybe his finger slipped, but when you break a Rule 1, unfortunately bad things are going to happen to your team. So any future goals are me on Switch's fault for violating rule number 1 of Rocket League.
You just can't do it. It's bad juju.
Yep. No, you got to wait until a teammate saves you. You can't just let your finger off the gas. Very unfortunate. Fear Classic gets demoed there. Turbo tried to spike it in on net, not able to find it. Slayer now got to go retreating. Fear Classic looks to center it up for a teammate. Quez will bump it down. Him and Vibes both there. Minute left. Quez takes a shot. Turbo makes a great save though.
It's going over to the side, and looks like Turbo's going to be the one to find it from that clear. Now playing it high into the air, trying to dribble it around a couple members, but the follow-up right there from Vibes will be enough to get it turned over as Turbo finds the demolition there onto Quez.
Vibes puts it in front of the net. Quez looking to make a play on it. Wide open chance here.
Woo!
And he'll be able to get the goal with 35 seconds left, and that's a chance for the Spiders.
Kick off goal.
If Karma was on their side, I'd say they have a chance, but you know the bad juju is still in there against them for me on Switch breaking that Rule 1.
Oh my goodness, Vibes! Vibes! Oh, it was almost in. Turbo even missed the backup clear on that shot, but that was a nice centering pass. There's no follow-up, however, for the Spiders, as Slayer's going to manage to get that one off the wall and play it straight through the midfield. Vibes will read it perfectly, dunking it over Turbo, but Turbo ultimately will swoop in and play it off that back wall.
I think Slayer has made it his mission to hunt down me on Switch for breaking that Rule 1. He wants to reestablish the Rule 1.
Give them a second opportunity to bring it back.
Redeem yourself. I think they're going to run out of time as Turbo looks to score a final goal. Oh man, hits off the crossbar. St. John's Bosco ends up winning in a series that was actually pretty close, but in the end could be summarized by the Spiders broke Rule 1 and they suffered accordingly.
You just
can't do it.
It's one of the cosmic laws of Rocket League.
You have to hold the Rule 1. You just can't, you know, sit there and be like, oh, I'll just back off. I mean, because that's, I think, almost an advantage for you, is in terms of, you know, sit in that Rule 1, hold on to it for just a little bit, maybe be able to throw them off their game. Well, you want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to eSport insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers to join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights. With our featured Rumbles, recruiters are starting to take notice too. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or to land a collegiate scholarship. Well, we're on to our final. It almost feels like Groundhog's Day or deja vu as it's Forsyth Central and St. John's Bosco once again. St. John's Bosco wants to make it 4 out of 4. Forsyth's the only team that's ever beat them, though. But there's a team that has a chance to stop the run. You have to think Forsyth Central's the best hope.
I have to, but they also, Forsyth, we had KG go to couples counseling with that crossbar.
Yep.
I feel like they need to spread the information that they garnered from that counseling with their teammates, because it seems like that a little bit of a love-hate relationship rubbed off onto everybody else. We may see the reappearance of Ariana in this game. Ariana, we know you're the demolitions expert. We know that obviously it's rubbed off onto KG as well, but if you're going to be going for those demos, you have to make sure that they're happening and at good times, and that you yourself are not being the one getting taken out in turn, because that is exactly what St. John's did to you last week. So I'm interested to see what comes of this game.
Yeah, St. John's stole that page right out of the Forsyth Central playbook and ran with it. Well, it's our finals. Do we have a 4-time champ or maybe an upset? It's two of the top 5 high school teams in the country in Rocket League. St. John's Bosco, Forsyth Central. Somebody's winning an Esports Tower Rumble Championship. Find out who after the break.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives and led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full time.
While I work full time.
greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Hello and welcome back into this Esports Tower Rumble broadcast from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We are on to this week's championship, and it much is like last week. It's Forsyth Central at St. John's Bosco. We did get an update during the break that the Barracudas did end up winning that Esports Tower third place showdown against the Spiders. So the Barracudas have their third place finish. The Spiders finished fourth. A best finish for both those teams in over a month. But now we get our championship matchup between two of the best high school teams in the country. Some within the Esports Towers have said that St. John's Bosco is just simply unbeatable. Forsyth Central, they're going to challenge that. They're the only team to ever win a series against them. Unfortunately, it came in group play and not last week's championship. And St. John's Bosco looking to go for their fourth title, which would be double what anybody else has in the Rumble.
I mean, if they end up getting it, that basically guarantees that everyone's going to be going after them for the remainder of the entire Esports Tower series, I feel like. However, Forsyth has definitely shown their ability to go toe-to-toe with St. John's Bosco, but in the course of the long-run series, because this is a best-of-5, Forsyth definitely shows some of that mental exhaustion that we've seen before, and their rotations and the double commits kind of start to happen a little bit more, and the opportunities for wide-open net goals to be scored increase a lot, so they just got to make sure that they aren't gassing themselves too quickly in this long series. And, you know, honestly, KG, Ariana, get those demos.
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw a little bit of that, though, from St. John's Bosco in that play against the Spiders. They had a lot of double commits. They ran into each other a lot. So, going to have to refocus here. It is our best-of-5 championship series. We started with group play. We round-robin through the groups, and now we are down to some of the best high school teams that the Rumble and the country has to offer. It's Forsyth Central. It's St. John's Bosco. They met in the championship last week. St. John's Bosco ended up with the win. See if Forsyth Central can extract revenge this time around. Forsyth Central looking for their second championship, and I think St. John's Bosco almost, you know, we might have to say they have to play, you know, on mouse and keyboard with their toes.
On a toaster.
So, yeah, well, as long as it's not the toaster that Buddy was on, because that man's toaster is probably, you know, more expensive than the rest of our rigs, because he wouldn't even see a decrease from him. But something, because right now they are just running it through everybody. But we'll see if Forsyth can slow them down. Before we get to it, though, we do have Doc's keys, as it will be St. John's Bosco, Forsyth Central. Somebody's going to be a champion in the next 3 to 5 games. We'll find out who exactly it is going to be between some of the best high school teams in the United States. And I cannot wait to see how this breaks out. As now we get to Doc's keys, play the shot and rebound, disrupt the pathing of attackers, defend the attack and boost, and rotate to the back pose quickly. It's presented by the Esports Tower. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You can match with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. And now it's time for our championship match, Nerdy.
No predictions, not saying nothing, not suggesting anyone rule one anyone, because that didn't go well last time. Buddy is still asking for you to be their Valentine yet again. That is beautiful. As we do see the kickoff go in favor of the side of St. John's, with the Slayer just getting a little bit more touch on that ball. However, it's still really hanging out here in the mid until DJ gets that clear over to Turbo in the corner.
I've heard from some of the people within the Esports Tower. They say Forsyth's the only team that can match the aerial play of St. John's Bosco, so that will be on full display. And I know you'll be watching out for those demos, as the first 30 seconds have been pretty quiet. Ball still on predominantly the blue side as Buddy tries to clear it away. Gets it around one, makes a great play in a one-on-one, but it is going to get stopped there and cleared back to that blue side. Now Slayer looking for an opportunity, takes a shot, so DJ TJ makes a great save.
We do have Turbo trying to follow it up off the wall with a shot in from Pure Classics, just going to be a little bit too far to the left. Slayer still there for the follow, but ultimately KG is going to get it cleared over here. It's still going to end up in front of Turbo, though. Pure Classics going to play it off the wall. All three members of St. John's Bosco are really close to one another right now. Buddy gets a touch on it, but it's high in the air. Slayer moves it higher, and the follow from KG, however, is going to drop it right in front of the goal for St. John's. Turbo, however, is trying to corral it down.
Slayer can't quite get a touch on it. Oh, great shot by Buddy, but a huge save from Fear Classic. Now he wants to turn that into instant offense. He'll take a shot. KG pops it up in the air. Turbo will corral it. And now he's trying to get it to a teammate, but DJ TJ reads that one cleanly, able to push it down to Buddy right past that midfield stripe. Turbo steals it away, sets it up perfectly for Fear Classic, and DJ TJ forcing another great save for Forsyth Central.
KG tried to play that one off the wall, just barely missed it. DJ manages to get the clear, but the shot on goal once again will be saved by DJ right there. Turbo's not letting up. The ball's right in front of the goal. DJ manages to find it all the way over towards the side, with Slayer still there making another shot, forcing DJ to play it over their own goal. Always a very risky situation to be in.
DJ TJ can't clear it. Turbo gets a great shot plus an assist from a teammate there, but KG doesn't fall for it, makes a great save. DJ TJ passes it over to KG. Now down in the corner, Turbo looking to corral it, can't get a touch on it. Ball gets passed in front of the net. Turbo barely beaten Buddy. Slayer now going to hit it down to the corner. DJ TJ misses. It's a one-on-one, but a great stop by KG, and we're still in a scoreless game one.
We've got Fear Classic trying to corral that ball off the side. They don't manage to do that as KG manages to make it past the halfway mark. Buddy getting a demo out onto Fear Classic right there. However, that will not prevent the turnover from happening. It's back on the side of blue. Buddy makes a pass over to KG right there, but it will not be enough. Oh, it is just enough as DJ manages to get across that centering stripe.
Turbo with a pass over to Fear Classic, looking for the give and go, but KG makes a great save. Neither team blinking. Slayer one-timer hits the crossbar, and DJ TJ gets a great save from Fear Classic. Turbo, one more shot attempt here, just gonna go high. Can't stop the rebound. Another follow-up here from Fear Classic. Finally sneaks in. And after 3 minutes of scoreless action, Fear Classic makes it by mere inches.
For the side of Forsyth, they're all three many times, at least on the pushes that are occurring out from St. John's Bosco, all rotating back towards that back post, making it very hard for them to get a wide, long clear over to the other side of the field. But it's working in their favor to maintain that, 0-0 score up until the last second there.
Yeah, still plenty of time for Forsyth to be able to even this one up. You see DJ TJ's shot turned away. Slayer's going to try and get a shot, but KG will push it away from his own net. Can't get the follow-up, though, and DJ TJ, solid as ever defensively, makes a great save. Buddy can't quite get a shot. Turbo's going to sneak it past, and you can just see there's a ton of save medals on the side of Forsyth, which is great. But that also means they're getting a lot of shots taken on them.
They're just not finding a good clearing pass here because St. John's is just disrupting every cross opportunity that they get. We do see the kickoff go in favor of Forsyth, but DJ lands it right in front of Turbo, who's going to elevate and take it across the field. Buddy, however, will read that one perfectly, knocking it over to the side. Fear Classic's going to be right on their tail, though, trying to knock it away. KG will help get it past that center stripe. Fear Classic will elevate, trying to corral the ball down, as we do see KG knocking it over towards the right side of the field as Slayer takes out KG.
Oh, Buddy sets it up perfectly, but Fear Classic clears it away. KG charging in. Ball does bounce over his head. And now has to retreat as Slayer. Trying to take a shot. KG turns it away. Buddy with a great hit there, passing it down to DJ TJ. Gonna rattle it around the corner. Fear Classic turns it away, though. Minute left. KG spikes it down, bouncing in front of the net. There's a rebound opportunity. No one for Forsyth able to get there. Buddy trying to set up his teammates, not quite able to find it. KG shot just wide of the net.
We do have Fear Classic trying to play it off the wall here past a couple members of Forsyth. Buddy reads it perfectly, but Turbo also does as well, getting a nice shot on goal, but DJ's there for the save. We do see that Buddy elevates, trying to save the ball away from the orange goal, but KG's follow-up will be enough to find that first goal.
It's just a great overall team play. You see Buddy sets it up perfectly for DJ TJ. They look for the rebound, and KG absolutely takes advantage of it, and that's what Forsyth could do really well, is those fantastic team plays. They just got to find another one of those in the next 30 seconds. A great kickoff will go a long way. KG does a great job putting his team in a chance to maybe send us to overtime. Fear Classic immediately turns around. He's got an open net in front of him. KG racing back. Unfortunately, Forsyth Central just a bit too aggro there, and probably now going to have a deficit too large to climb out of.
But it is just the first match, and it is a best of 5, so it's okay.
True.
Just clean up those rotations a little bit, Forsyth. It happens when y'all get a little bit overzealous. It's okay.
Buddy with a nice little move there on the kickoff, trying to put the ball where a teammate can maybe take a shot. Fear Classic trying to add to that lead, not able to get there. 10 seconds left. Maybe if Forsyth could score right now, they'd have a chance to tie this game up. Turbo's going to stop this one. DJ TJ gets the ball stolen away by Slayer. The time will tick down. Looks like St. John's Bosco just going to let it touch the ground. It's a great play by Fear Classic to pop it away for Buddy.
Got Turbo now playing it off the wall in the air. DJ trying to corral it away from them. Isn't going to be able to do just that, unfortunately, as we see a shot go in, and it touches the ground right before rolling in the goal.
Yeah, and I think just, I mean, there was absolutely insane the amount of pressure that we saw there from St. John's Bosco. I think that looking like there was maybe 18 shots to 4, something in that margin that's just, you could be the greatest defensive team, and I think Forsyth, I mean, most teams probably would have allowed in 6, 7+ goals on 18 shots. Forsyth did everything they could, but you cannot get, 5x or 6x in shots and hope you have a chance.
Yeah, unfortunately, just the odds aren't in your favor in that case, and then they did get a little too aggressive on one rotation and had no one ready to fall back, and they could just not beat Fear Classic into that goal. That happens. That was a very, very close first match, though, so Forsyth Central is showing signs of life here. They're maintaining their defensive rotations a lot, except for, like we said, they had a slip up. However, this is a best of 5, so even if, St. John's gets the next one, Forsyth can still bring it back in a reverse sweep, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that, I mean, maybe Buddy's trying too hard for me, I don't know, but when Forsyth is doing well, he's the one who's scoring all the goals. Felt like, and yes, sometimes we are critical of players who make the solo play. Felt like he was trying to be a team player just a little too much. I want to see Buddy just slam that ball on the net, because when Forsyth wins, Buddy usually has 5-6 goals. He's pacing the game. He only had, I think, 1 shot that whole game. I want to see Buddy absolutely pop off and just try and take shot after shot after shot. Don't run your teammates over, but be that guy we're used to seeing, Buddy. Don't try and be the team player just to impress me, because it's unfortunately not the way you're going to be able to beat St. John's Bosco.
Because we do see the kickoff go more in favor of St. John's right there. Buddy tried to steal it away, but could not find that touch. We have Turbo elevating, managing to beat Buddy to the ball right there. They do get a shot on goal. KG will just barely tip it away, though, and prevent that one from going in.
And KG and DJ TJ are both impressive defensive players, but unfortunately a miscommunication when you leave the goal wide open. St. John's Bosco is not going to miss that, as Buddy just barely loses the dribble, ends up kind of assisting with a pass to Fear Classic, and you see neither KG or DJ TJ in that net.
It's okay. It was just the first 30 seconds, 1 goal. Easy to bring that one back for Forsyth Central as we go into this next kickoff. Multiple players go after it and all kind of stagnate out in the mid. Turbo will get a nice shot over into the corner, and unfortunately Slayer and Fear Classic will run into each other, allowing DJ to get this ball a little bit further over onto the side of Orange. Fear Classic's trying to corral it down. Buddy's trying to disrupt it a little bit, so we do see Turbo pop it high in the air, but KG's trying to knock it down.
DJ TJ ends up corralling it, ball right in front of the net, not able to find anything. Buddy gonna trade off a demo there with Slayer. And now it looks like he'll be able to respawn. DJ TJ looking for the pass over to KG. Buddy ends up corralling what was a near shot and now finds an opportunity to clear it all the way down into the corner. And I think Fear Classic's gonna be able to stop that one. Buddy tries to take a shot, not quite able to get to it. Fear Classic's gonna pop it up in the air in front of the net, and unfortunately for Forsyth, they just aren't able to manufacture an opportunity out of that one.
We do have Buddy still trying to keep it alive, however, getting a nice shot over to the corner. It's going to get cleared away back to KG, who gets it over that middle stripe once again. DJ's looking to corral this ball here over in the corner with that little help from Buddy. Fear Classic and Slayer are both here trying to find that shot on goal. It does go wide. Now Buddy has the opportunity to take it up the midfield. They play it around Turbo, but they knock it a little too far wide right of the goal, having to play it off the ceiling. Will they have the follow from the teammates? It does go past Turbo, gets knocked high into the air. Fear Classic's trying to knock it away. They managed to do it, playing it off the wall.
See Buddy trying to get a touch on it. DJ TJ now looking to carry it up towards the goal. Not quite able to. KG has to retreat. Can't stop Slayer from getting to the ball, though. Now Buddy's going to be able to corral this one in the corner. Trying to fake out one member. Does that. But Fear Classic in a perfect position to set up Turbo for the corner goal. And St. John's Bosco extends their lead.
Once again, it's one of those really far, like almost flat to the goal shots that manages to go in. I honestly thought that might hit the crossbar, but Turbo, you proved me wrong.
Yeah, St. John's Bosco, I mean, they just score these like almost impossible goals where I don't think they're going to go in. It's off the kickoff. DJ TJ looking for the play off the backboard, not able to find it. Buddy will go retreating. Hit it right towards the goal, just losing the dribble. TJ now going to recenter it. Gets a touch on it, but it's going to go over to the other corner, and he can't quite bump Turbo out of the way and stop the clear.
Turbo now is going to try and play it around multiple members of the side of Forsyth. Buddy will manage to disrupt it enough to keep it here at the midfield with a little bit of help from KG right there. It's going to be popped high, and a shot on goal, but Fear Classic will read it perfectly, redirecting it. Another shot on goal, unfortunately, will hit the crossbar there, coming from Buddy, and now Fear Classic is on the attack, trying to play it off the wall to Turbo, and Turbo will find that shot on the goal.
Okay, we even got a double demolition after that as well. These teams maintain that aggression. And just, I mean, this is why we tell teams to keep it off the ground. I mean, Fear Classic sets all of that up perfectly, and Turbo barely clears it over 2 members of Forsyth Central. And St. John's Bosco has the 3-goal lead, but with 2:11 left on the clock, there's still plenty of time. And as KG's going to disrupt Fear Classic, Buddy's going to go off the back wall. Thought we were going to have a Rule 1 there, but they're both able to dodge out of the way. TJ plays it right under Turbo over to KG, looking for the give and go, but a great save by Fear Classic.
We do have Buddy over there on the farthest side trying to play it back to themselves. It's not going to be enough, though, as the center shot comes out. DJ reads it perfectly, gets a nice shot on goal. Crossbar, unfortunately, is not there, friend. KG will elevate to try and keep the ball on the side of Orange. Fear Classic, well, Slayer, unfortunately, will overcommit on that one. DJ will get the demolition out onto Slayer. However, they need to make sure that that does not result in an easy goal for the side of St. John's.
Oh, Buddy makes a great save there. Passes it over to TJ on the give and go. I like that. KG can't quite connect on the pass. Lands right by the ball, but Turbo able to corral it. Passes it down to Fear Classic. Huge save from TJ. Buddy going to take it from him. Try and get it past. Loses the dribble, though. TJ just going to pass it back. Turbo intercepts that one, though, and once again, this ball spent way too much time on the blue side for me to be comfortable. That ball just kind of slow rolls into the net, and St. John's Bosco looks pretty much unstoppable right now, it feels like, Nerdy.
They are kind of taking the ball and running away with these goals right now. Unfortunately, when it comes down to this game with St. John's, that's just how it is. We still have a minute left. Forsyth can close that goal differential gap right here, as we do see KG gets a nice touch on that ball at kickoff. Fear Classic has to elevate and just tip it high in front of their own goal. DJ's going to try and pass it back to one of their own teammates, but Turbo will ultimately get a nice centering shot up for Slayer. Thankfully, KG's there for the save.
TJ going to pass it over to Buddy, him and KG. Oh, I like that. They corral on a great pinch to be able to get the ball towards the net. But just a bit too high, though. Now Turbo trying to pass it over to Slayer. They miss on that pass. Buddy tries to bump Slayer out of the way. KG's able to clear it away from the goal. Gets it around another one as well, all the way down to the other side. 30 seconds left here for Forsyth to at least get a goal to stop the shutout. Turbo makes a great save.
We've got Fear Classic now trying to dribble this one in the air with the gets booped a little bit too high right there from Slayer. Turbo knocks it high into the air once again, trying to play it off that back wall. KG is going to be there to disrupt them a little bit. Fear Classic's trying to corral this one down as the clock starts ticking with just under 10 seconds remaining. It misses that goal once again, hitting that crossbar, going a little too high. The follow-up is going to be knocked away by Buddy as Turbo hits it towards their own goal, but the ball hits the ground before it can go in.
St. John's Bosco 1 game away now from their 4th championship in 4 tries in the Esports Tower Rumble. And I honestly, I'm just trying to figure out what to tell Forsyth, because it feels like Forsyth is playing as well as we've seen them play, and St. John's Bosco is just a little bit better than them. I mean, they've got to create opportunities. That's the one thing. The ball's spending too much time on their side of the field, but every time they clear it down, it's one shot, and immediately St. John's Bosco clears it right back. This team, for St. John's Bosco, they do not make rotational breakdowns very often.
Honestly, the one thing that I'm noticing from Forsyth that is happening a lot is on their defense, yes, all 3 of them are there and trying to look for those saves, but, you know, maybe having more faith in 1 or 2 players to allow them to be near the goal and then spread out more so you can get those clear shots and clear passes to one another. You know, divide that field into 3 parts and make sure you have control over 1/3 per person might be the way they have to go about it. It may make it a little bit more of a sweaty palm situation for the person who is stuck in the goal, but unless they need that assistance, you know, be ready for that clear shot.
Yeah, I think I totally agree with you there, because I think that I mean, as we saw, the biggest issue for Forsyth is they get a clear and then stopped at midfield. And I think you're right. I think you allow DJ TJ, you allow KG to be in that goal. You have Buddy or you have the other member pushing down the field. Now you got to be careful if the clear gets stopped to turn around. But I do think that is you're totally onto something there, Nerdy. I think you got to have somebody almost expecting the clear, not how many people can we put in the goal.
As we do see now, we've got Ariana and DJ TJ as well as Buddy in this time, so KG has been subbed out. Maybe that Ariana will be able to create that little bit more of spacing that the side of Forsyth was missing. So we do see the ball spending a little bit more time here on the side of St. John's Bosco as Turbo's trying to clear it away, but it's going to be taken by Ariana into the goal with the help from Buddy, but it's not going to be able to make it in as that crossbar's their enemy as Ariana finds that demolition on Fear Classic.
Yeah, so far, I like this change for Forsyth. Feels like they're playing with a lot more confidence early in this one as DJ TJ is going to steal it away. It's a wide open net. Buddy hits it in reverse. And Forsyth Central's got the lead, and this new composition has come out strong for the side of Forsyth Central.
Just a little tip right there was enough. I thought that that was going to not make it in because there was no one to redirect it, but thankfully Ariana was there.
It's a great start. We'll see if they can carry it going forward as Ariana wins that kickoff. Fear Classic able to get it around one. Turbo not able to get it. DJ TJ is going to slam it down into the corner. Slayer trying to pass it over to Turbo. They'll pop it up near midfield. Buddy going to corral that one. Ends up getting a great dunk as well, and now Slayer's going to hit it all the way over to the other side. Fear Classic takes a shot, not quite able to get it, and oh, nice little pinch move there from Buddy and DJ TJ.
We've got Ariana on the offensive now with a shot on goal, and it goes in. Well, sorry, that was Buddy managing to find that shot on goal with assist from DJ TJ right there.
Yeah, that pinch that DJ and Buddy had allowed that ball to go skyrocketing towards the corner and allows Buddy to make a great play. And Forsyth coming alive here. Maybe that reverse sweep you hinted at, Nerdy, could be in the cards. Still got to carry out the next 3 minutes and 50 seconds of this game as Ariana in the corner. Going to try and set something up for Buddy. That shot turned away, though, by Turbo. And now you got to go retreating as Turbo gets a shot on the net. Hits the crossbar for Fear Classic with a perfect play on the rebound.
They're still up by one for the side of Forsyth, but as we mentioned, being a little over-committal on those offensive pushes and not, making sure you have that rotation ready can be your downfall, at least from St. John's Bosco, who's notorious for being able to get cross-map goals happening.
Another kickoff, this time won by Fear Classic, just by a smidge. Ball ends up in the lap of Turbo. Passes it over to Fear Classic, looks to play it over to Slayer. Great team play here from St. John's Bosco. Demolition onto Ariana. Turbo tries to waterfall it down. Huge save, though, by DJ TJ. Off the respawn, Ariana goes chasing for the ball. Slayer trying to play it around Buddy. Buddy's going to end up winning that one, forcing it over to the orange side. And a double commit comes out from St. John's Bosco from Fear Classic and Turbo.
DJ manages to find that one in the air as Ariana takes out Turbo. Now on the offensive push, it's down here in the corner. Fear Classic gets the redirect with the follow-up from DJ getting another shot on goal right there. It looks like Fear Classic's maintaining some decent control, but Buddy's really there for the disruption play.
Ariana's going to launch that all the way towards the side of St. John's Bosco. Fear Classic will stop any rebound attempt. Buddy can't quite play it around Slayer. And now Ariana, or DJ TJ, excuse me, looking to pass it over to Ariana. Off that back post, going to pop high in the air. Fear Classic going to back pass it to a teammate. Turbo's waiting right there.
DJ puts the pressure on to Turbo, stealing the ball away as it bounces off that back wall over to Buddy. It's going to be a little bit too high to the right. Turbo tries to get a touch on it. They do, but Buddy still has possession, trying to beat Fear Classic and Turbo to the ball. Ariana gets a nice centering shot on goal. It does get turned away by a double commit coming out from St. John's Bosco. And now St. John's is on the offensive, turning the ball around. Buddy's chasing them down, manages to beat them to the ball. But there is a shot on goal from Fear Classic, bringing us to 2-2 with a little over 2 minutes left.
Just a great response there from Fear Classic. Slayer kind of just pushing Buddy out of the way, and unfortunately Forsyth being a bit too aggressive left that goal wide open. 2 minutes 11 seconds on the clock. I mean, either team feels like they might have a chance in this game as DJ TJ wins that kickoff. Fear Classic will stop any shenanigans, pop it over to Slayer, who barely touches it, but Buddy's able to make a great save.
Ariana's plays it around Turbo by booping it around them. However, Fear Classic's still there for the follow-up, trying to dribble it into the goal here. Buddy manages to find that save, passing it over to the wall. DJ once again getting the save off of Turbo's shot. It's now knocked down in front of the orange goal. DJ's trying to rotate forward, gets the demolition out onto Fear Classic. Ariana tries to elevate and get the ball, but unfortunately Fear Classic ends up with it at their tires.
Well, Fear Classic takes a great shot. Buddy, though, makes a huge save to keep this in a tie game. TJ clears it away from Turbo. Now Ariana's looking for the clear. Pops it up over Turbo. Slayer gonna rattle that one, gets it just over Buddy, looking for a second touch, but Buddy's having none of that. Plays it over to the other side, where Fear Classic, though, is waiting. Looks to send it up right in front of the net, but Ariana gets a nice clear. Now Forsyth Central has an opportunity.
Ariana's going to dribble it in. Buddy's going to knock it high above the goal off that back wall. It's going to get cleared away by one of the members of St. John's. Fear Classic's going to try and play it off that back wall again with some help from Turbo. However, I think that was a little bit of a miscalculation as it ends up getting stalled out mid in the air. And Ariana finds the cross map from the mid goal to bring them up by 1.
Yeah, great play here from Ariana. We're going to see Buddy as well. He's going to elevate, and I think he's going to fake out Slayer. We've seen the players in the Esports Tower use that a lot. You don't know if the guy going for the ball is going to dodge out of the way or take a shot. Slayer tried to predict where Buddy wanted to hit it. That ball just falls in the net. Minute here left for Forsyth to hold on and force us to a game 4. TJ challenges Slayer for the ball, pushes it back towards midfield. Turbo's going to hit it backwards. Now Buddy in the corner looks to center it up. Ariana's charging in, but a great save for Fear Classic.
We've now got DJ trying to be there at the mid to prevent it from even crossing that line. Buddy will find it and manage to pop it high. They're now going to try and take it in, playing it past 2 members of St. John's. Fear Classic will bounce off the wall and try to get possession. Slayer gets a nice centering shot in on the goal. It's going to go a little too high, ping pong around a little bit. A couple players to the side of Forsyth, ultimately still out on the left side. Ariana will elevate, knocking it clear across the field. Turbo's going to try and beat Buddy to that ball. However, playing it here off the wall, we do see Buddy already retreating as Slayer and Fear Classic are trying to get a forward push.
TJ going to try and put it on the net. 8 seconds left here. Got to be careful if you're Forsyth Central not to over pursue. Turbo's going to pump it down to Fear Classic, redirected on the net, and it's the time hit 0. Fear Classic with the hat trick, and we're going to overtime.
Oh my goodness. All right. I see how this is going to go.
Just insane. I mean, that is the strength of St. John's Bosco. You have them on the ropes with 0 seconds left. They force overtime. I guess there was enough time left to do that. Whatever that was. Now we go to overtime. TJ gonna win the kickoff. Ariana's gonna pop it up in the air. Pass it over to Buddy, who gets that shot stopped. Ariana wants to turn it back around. Barely dunks it over Turbo. TJ and Slayer both going for it. Slayer will win that battle, and now look for a follow-up here to end it. Plays it off the back wall. Here comes Fear Classic. Ball bouncing around, and TJ pushes it out of the way.
TJ's going to play it off the wall, crossing it past the midfield mark, but Slayer will read that one in the air perfectly, managing to get it across the field yet again. Turbo will knock it into them, but even despite that, it's still over here on the side of blue. Turbo's looking for that pass over to Slayer. They find it, but it's going to be played off that back wall, and Buddy will read it perfectly to save it down right on the ground. And now Buddy's trying to go for that forward push, clearing it across the midfield, but Turbo reads it perfectly, trying to dribble it in for a goal.
Ooh.
And it just barely gets saved right there.
Wow, huge credit to Ariana. I don't know what they did to offend Rocket League. Do not give them credit for that, because that was a fantastic save. Slayer's going to hit it on net. TJ stops that one. Fear Classic wants to follow it up. You see somebody in the goal messing with them. That is a great team play from St. John's Bosco to win this Rumble. You're going to see right here, Slayer forces Ariana off the ground. It means they can't readjust, and Turbo wins it for St. John's Bosco. Fantastic.
That was a well-fought game.
Yeah, and I think that, I don't know what happened between games 2 and 3, but that felt like a different and a better Forsyth Central team in our final game. Game 1 and 2, they felt a little sluggish. Game 3 was exactly what I was hoping for. You had Buddy absolutely dominating. You had TJ and Ariana complimenting him defensively and setting him up for great plays. And I think that is how Forsyth can beat St. John's Bosco. It didn't happen today, but they are incredibly close. That is a fantastic end to our Esports Tower. I want to give a big shout out to the Spiders and the Barracudas. They've been on some rough times. They were able to totally turn things around, both of them ending up in the semifinals. The Barracudas winning the 3rd place game that we did not see over the Spiders, and both of them having the best finish they've had in quite a long time. They're going to love reviewing this week in practice. I know Coach Jake is probably very happy, and he's got his work cut out for him, because how do you stop St. John's Bosco? I just don't know how. You could VOD review for 24 hours a day leading up to the Rumble, and I still don't know if you can figure out how to stop St. John's Bosco because they look really just unstoppable right now.
Well, when you face a team like that, this is where, like, my preaching of, you can't just focus on the outcome of the game. You have to focus on the, the process of getting there and really celebrate the accomplishments that you get in the process of, being able to get those clears, making those rotations clean. Focus more on improving yourself and improving your team's gameplay rather than just the outcome of these tournaments, which, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I know that these coaches are looking at that more than anything else with these teams, just by the fact that they are, giving them time off to just focus on their team play and things of that regard. So, focus on the process. Focus on those little improvements that you're making because obviously it's working.
Yeah, you look at the teams that are in this, the non-esports tower teams. You have Forsyth Central, who's probably a top 5 Rocket League team in the country. You have St. John's Bosco, who's probably the best high school Rocket League team in the country. The Barracudas, they only lost by 2 goals and took Forsyth Central to overtime. The Spiders took St. John's Bosco to game 3. So I think you're totally right. If you just you brush the results aside a little bit and you just look at how these teams are playing on the field, these esports tower teams are incredibly close to upsetting and are playing toe-to-toe with some of the best teams in the country. We're going to look at our ICCU player of the game, and it's going to go to Turbo because he was absolutely insane. I don't know how he figures out some of these goals because he's scoring from all over the field. A very well-deserved honor for Turbo.
Yeah, I think there was at least 3, if not more, goals that both you and I were like, how was that even possible to go in? That angle was borderline like too flat to the goal. That one just getting a tiny touch on it, allowing it for it to go in. Turbo, you are an insane freaking goal scorer. You're a triple threat player, just like many of your teammates and many of the players here in Esports Tower. Congratulations on this week's Player of the Week.
Yeah, absolutely well-deserved. The Player of the Game brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central is helping their members achieve financial success. Turbo is this week's Idaho Central Credit Union Player of the Week for an absolutely spectacular performance. But I think, like I said, I think Forsyth is right there. I think Buddy played out of his mind. Of course, I'd love to be his Valentine. Maybe you can teach me a thing or two about Rocket League because that dude, when he's on the top of his game, is absolutely cracked. And I think Forsyth Central, if we keep seeing St. John's Bosco and Forsyth Central in our Rumbles and they keep making the championships like we, might expect them to if the esports tower teams aren't able to knock them off, which I think they're very close to doing that as well. I think Forsyth can beat St. John's Bosco. I think you look at Game 3 alone, they can beat them.
The upset is coming. It's in the works. The pieces and the cogs are all turning and in place right now. It's just it needs a little bit more, I don't know, some lubricant or something, the oil, grease it up a little bit. Figure out those tiny little things that we saw throughout the course of the series that were kind of tripping you up a little bit. Practice that, and I'm sure that by next week, Forsyth will give either St. John's Bosco an even harder run for their money or, finally clutch that championship title that they've been looking for.
Yeah, Game 3, overtime. And you get the game-tying goal with 2 seconds left. Then you just unfortunately can't get the stop there. Like I said, you look at Game 3, Forsyth, you have the code to beat St. John's Bosco. You could do it. You just got to be able to make sure you don't come out a little too sluggish in Games 1 and 2. But that will do things here for our Esports Tower Rumble. A huge congratulations to St. John's Bosco, once again proving they are the best high school team in the country. Somebody's got to eventually knock them off, but for now, they are 4-time champions, double any other number of championships the team has in the Esports Tower. We will leave you, though, with our top 5 presented by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. More than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. The Idaho Army National Guard is the best team out there. St. John's Bosco might give them a run for their money, though. Who knows? But check out these top 5 plays, and until next week's Rumble, have a good week. We do have Doc's keys, as it will be St. John's Bosco, Forsyth Central. Somebody's going to be a champion in the next 3 to 5 games. To find it, Turbo does clear it away. He did get a hat trick as well on that goal, and now Slayer's trying to join, and that is a great play from Slayer. Absolutely faked out the side of the Spider because you think he's going for this ball, and he just misses it on purpose. Just like that, you throw the guy off. And he's going to try and clear it away. Can't quite do it. Fear Classic takes the shot. Vibe pushes it back. Slayer, I think, just got pushed by his own teammate into the ball, into the goal.
Probably wasn't intentional, but it works out like that sometimes. Yeah, yeah, they were. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. sure Forsyth has to be seething right now. Can they readjust, though? Double commit does come out. Ball actually gets pinched from between Jocks and Yeezy with a great clear. KG booms it back, though. And what a absolute crazy minute there, and Forsyth finds the goal.
That was beautiful.
Just green is Quez now will challenge Turbo, clears that ball back towards midfield. Slayer, though, gonna take a shot. Turbo waiting right on the net, and I don't even know how he did that.
I didn't even think Turbo had a touch on that ball.
He's gonna hit it right there.
Oh,
just barely.
Just the back of the car.
Seconds left here. Got to be careful if you're Forsyth Central not to over pursue. Turbo's going to pump it down to Fear Classic, redirected on the net, and it's the time hit 0. Fear Classic with the hat trick, and we're going to overtime.
Oh my goodness. All right. I see how this is going to go.
Just insane.